Good morning, God. Thank you for today. Please grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Amen. Good morning, world. Good morning, America. And good morning, you mother cluckers. Let's make today a good day. We're the ones in the driver's seat.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fights, oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket trembled, the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land under the fray, and the home of the brave? Because we are the brave. Yes, we are the brave. We'll fight you in the name of the brave. We are the US of A. For those unaware, that flag is still there. It's our future to save. This land of the brave, the US of A. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free, in the home of the
Buenos dias, senors and senoritas. Good morning, everybody. What's up? So we got Scat Pack, Anthony, Battlefield Productions, Miss Billy, PJ, KP Heathen in the house, Mad Shag. Greetings from the Gulf Coast, sir. Skull. See, I think I remembered that right. Oh, Scat Pack. Yeah, a little shade. So I've concocted this idea so far. That's why I went ahead. I think I had said, I'll do 10, but I kind of been busy. And then I thought, I'm at a resting point right now. So went ahead and started it early. So I got this scaffolding right here. and I got that pole braced on it. And then down there on that end, I took my tall ladder and I put some blocks underneath the two forward legs to lean it up against the end of that. And then I got the pole up on it. So now I've got the shade thing suspended. It's not at the right height, but Miss Teresa. Afternoon, ma'am. Good morning, good day, good evening. Hey, man, wherever it works for you. You know, just do you, boo. That's what I'm all about. Doing good, doing good. So, did you have to Google that to type that up? I mean, don't come in flying like you actually typed that out of memory there, Michael. What'd you do? Go to the translator? I'm just picking. I'm just picking. Oh man, it's a hot mofo. Yes, it is. It's a rather worm. I look at it like this, man. It's hot because God's trying to dry up the humidity for me. You know, hey, silver lining. It is what it is. Whew. Me no sabe, man. Me no sabe. No habla inglés. What's up, Rabbit? Oh man. Hey, one of our people that live here in the community, her little boy is growing up. So we hooked up. We got a little man. I got him a bucket truck with a working boom. Well, it's kind of working, you know. And then a dump truck and a little flat car hauler. So he's going to be digging that this weekend. Google Translate gets habla español no bueno. No bueno. No bueno por caca, man. No bueno por caca. KP Heathen says, got 3 lawns to cut. Ooh, stay hydrated, brother. Stay hydrated. Stay hydrated. That's for sure. Hey, Dusty, big Dusty, little Dusty. Thank you, thank you. I'm getting there. So I think my next plan is I've got 4 landscape timbers. And I think if I get up there, I'm going to try using some baling wire down here on the legs. I'm pointing in real life, and then it looks like I'm pointing way off in left field. So I'm going to try to run the landscape timber up each one of these legs. And I'm going to take some baling wire and just wrap it around it and then twist it tight and do it on the top and the bottom to hold it up against there. And then I'm hoping at the top, I have to see where the height comes. I'm hoping I can just take some screws and screw the little wooden crossboard right here, basically what you would think of as a ceiling joist, into the landscape timbers, and then that'll hold it because I ain't trying to look for nothing fancy, you know. PJ's painting and listening. Good mood on me. Painting and listening. I'll be in and out, but listening. Mad Shad, no habla factardo. Yes, Miss Teresa, he will. He loves, you know, he loves equipment. He loves his little excavator and he loves his dump truck. So he's going to totally dig it. Yeah, as soon as I can get this done, then I'm going to start working on getting the buckets moved out here. That's just, man, that's 8 trips, dude. And I ain't looking forward to that. I've been feeling this. Shed says I got the sticker battle. Oh, you got the sticker. No habla factardo. Right on, right on. Yes, he likes pie too. And he's knowledgeable in slicing the pie. Show and tell. Morning, afternoon, evening. Oh, man. Oh, man, I saw a show this morning. I had to really think, and I'm like, I think I remember seeing this, but I haven't seen it in like, oh my God, forever and a day. It feels like there I go again using those nice hyperbole words, but hey, see it. You just get accustomed to it. But anyway, the stories, was it the stories of champion? The wild stories of champion. And I was like, huh. And that's weird. It's on my Western thing. So I clicked it. Well, I'll be damned. It's Champion the horse and Rebel the dog. And I was like, wait a minute. I think I remember this. It was just kind of cool. Hadn't seen that one. They did. Normally it's Wide Earp. It's Death Valley Days, Maverick. And then all of a sudden there was that. And I thought, well, that's pretty damn cool, man. That's pretty damn cool. So did I miss anybody else coming in? One thing about this, you can't really tell and anybody new comes in unless you happen to catch the name and realize that you ain't sitting under that name. Well, thank you, Show and Tell. I was watching this young man this morning does these little 5-minute shorts, and he was talking about his group, and he talked about these two people, and there's a conflict in that group, and kind of made me think. It's the importance of having, I guess in a leadership role, you'd want somebody that can mediate. You want somebody to negotiate. You don't need the half-cocked person because, well, then it's all one-sided solutions. You want a leader or a group, whatever, but you'd want that the main focus of the person or people would be a negotiating type, mediating mentality. Because he had a point of one, what was it? One was a doctor and one was something else. I forgot. And his name is Rural 2IC if anybody wants to drop his link and has it. Rural 2IC. Had a little food for thought. I think his little short was called Scenario or something like that. Hey, G-Mall and Nana. Not new, but lurking. Yes, ma'am. RM125 Hooligan. Well, good to see you. I don't know if I've seen you here, but I see you other places, so it's all good. It's all good in the hood, man. That's just how I roll. What's up, Brad guy? Yeah, he seems like a good-natured guy. He seems like a thinker. And that's pretty cool. Thanks, Teresa. There you go. That's Rural 2IC. He does these little shorts, and it's pretty cool. He kind of gives you food for thought in the morning. Just a little 5-minute deal, and sometimes I get it, and sometimes it don't. But he's a good dude, I think. What's up, Metal Spawn? I'm your Huckleberry. What's up, brother? But I think that's what's important because, man, that's when you look around, that's what's lacking is somehow, I don't know if it was around 16 or what, and then through the COVID shit, it's like leadership people I don't know. It's like that skill just kind of dwindled down, you know. But I was listening to a scenario and it kind of just highlighted that because, you know, I've been on scenes and, you know, that's why in those events we have scene commanders and you have incident commanders because you need a focal point as chaos is going on and there's multiple things to handle. You need somebody that can take the deep breath and delegate and deal with things and not be a emotional reactive, you know. And that's what it kind of got reminded me of listening to him talk. It wasn't so much of the mag and a shift thing as it was. I've seen it, incidents go bad. You know, you show up on a scene, you have a couple of people that are butting heads, and it takes away from the overall objective because then you're trying to put out these fires, and it's like, oh, we're supposed to be putting out that fire, not this fire. But it's like, and you know, plus it doesn't look professional. You know, you got a couple of people out here, you got full blown bunker suits and tanks and shit, and next thing you know, you're trading licks and shit. You know, it's like it's not exactly the time and the place. You know, what's up, D Dog? Oh, Cherokee come in. I see somebody said hey to Cherokee. What's up, Cherokee? Man, look, all of the cool peeps are coming in. There he is. Hey, Mr. Wayne, what's up? Well, it's getting there, sir. I finally concocted an idea. The missus wasn't overly excited about it. She's like, I don't know. And I go, look, I got to get it lifted up. But so I got the scaffolding and I drug it out here and I got it up on here. And then on the other end, I took my tall step ladder and I put some blocks on the two far legs so that I could lean it forward up against the edge of the tomato table, I guess is what I'll call it. I don't know. This shit's all on the fly, man. So, hey, anybody that's like, if, you know, I'm not giving instructions how to do stuff. My only message to any of this is to go that if you think of something, you can figure out a way to do it. That's the objective. That's my only objective on the YouTube streets is to tell you if you can think of it, then you can probably do it. You just got to figure out how. I use that same scaffolding. There you go, Braga. I love it, man. Well, matter of fact, I don't know if anybody that was around back then, whenever I remember I cut that tree right there, this tree, not the big oak tree, but that tree right there. Remember, I was cut. Some people saw that. I cut that and I used that scaffolding in a 2-stage so that I could climb up on it and then on the other one and then hold myself against the tree to cut some limbs. Hey, man, you know, adapt and overcome. And so now my objective is going to be to take good old Moose Man brought me that little electric chainsaw. So I'm going to use that electric chainsaw to cut the ends of the landscape timbers to cut a notch in them. And I'm going to make some X patterns and I'm going to put 2 landscape timbers. I got to remember to look at the screen and not back there. If I point back here, you guys are going to I'm pointing out Neverland. So these 2 little corner things to the tomato table, I'm going to stand landscape timbers up like this and see where the height comes out. And then I'm going to take some baling wire and I'm going to wrap around and I don't know. I might try to take some long ass screws. I think I might have a few. Let's see. Hopefully I didn't miss nobody coming in. Rolling around working on ceilings. Oh, damn, Braga. What are you like in the attics? Sorry, I'm scrolling up a little bit. Hey, what's up, Eric? Still off on Wi-Fi right now. Oh, damn it. Trying to see, make sure I didn't miss nobody. Hey, man, I'm sorry if I missed anybody. So if I missed you, man, good morning, good day, good afternoon, good evening, wherever it works for you on this little ball of dirt as we zoom through the cosmic universe. I don't know. It sounded like a plane, whatever. Hey, where's my tunage? That's what I'm missing is my tunage. Here we go. I was talking about what I use yellow scaffolding on my. Oh, okay. Man, I use them things for everything. Got them to originally, hell, I don't know where I originally got them for, but I've used them to replace the windows, jack with the guttering, climb up a tree as a table, uh, all kinds of shit. To me, they're awesome. So anybody that doesn't know, this little brace right here, there's a handle right there. You can pull it, and then that slides up and down that set of legs. Very awesome things, and they're cheap. Uh, Shit, where was that? Harbor Freight? No, was it Harbor Freight? No, who's the other one? Northern Tools. Yeah, I think it was Northern Tools is where I got this set. I got this one and another set. It's a good investment. Rather than shutting me off 3 weeks ago today. Oh, damn it, Eric. Hold me tall and rock me through the night. Um, can love you. I'll be dragging my scaffolding and panel into the house here soon. Once I get, once I get through all these boxes of stuff. Oh, and then we moved at 400. Here we go. See, right, Shed? We hauling ass, man. We hauling ass, son. Oh, damn it. Whew. $50, well worth it, right? Hell yeah. Hell, they're useful as shit. Which I've got the frames for the tables too. I got that frame with treated plywood in it. So I've got the actual, not just the sidebars and that. And we get a speeding ticket for going 5 miles over speeding. They added the bill. What? They added the next bill to the past due of mine as soon as I made a payment trying to get the money. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay, yeah. I guess I need to go through and probably ought to go through and reset all the points and then just like give everybody that's been in chat. What I need to do is I probably need to clean out the whole list and then let it pick up again fresh. We spin around the sun at 67,000 miles an hour. We be hauling ass, man. You working today, Shed? It's kind of confusing. Hey, I set it up so everybody could have something to kind of do since I'm tinkering on shit, and then this way chatting. I forgot all the little commands. I think there's even like a little game where if you, and what is it? It's like if you make certain emoji things or something. I don't know. I forgot. I'll have to look again. No work today. You want me to drop the link? You want to come up? There. There. Look, are you happy, Streamheads? Are you joking? Hey, I guess those Streamlabs was at least being honest about it. It's like, are you joking? Would you be happy sitting on the internet hosting all these people gabbing all this shit? Damn. Are you doing that? Maybe we're not moving it on. The galaxy is hauling ass on us. Well, yeah. And then we're just standing still. And that's why we're dragging ass. Because we're just standing still. I gotta say, man, I was been thinking back to all the days I'd be out, man, freezing cold, pouring down rain, sloshing through stuff, chest deep in water, doing something or whatever, and just feeling, man, this sucks, dude. This is kind of crap. I'll be glad whenever retirement comes, and I'll be glad when blah, blah, blah. Now it's like, shit, man, I'm so glad to be doing some shit. There he is, the man with the plane. Bam. Or I guess I could do that.
Donating from the Ivory Coast.
I guess I could do that. What you up to, sir?
I've got the day off, kind of recuperation day. Not much of nothing, really.
Just kick back and relaxing, huh?
Yeah. Just I kind of tweaked my knee a little bit, and I'm just kind of allowing it to heal.
Oh, damn.
So yeah, it's my second
careful
day
with the
off.
joints.
Yeah. Yep.
Not
I
as
guess I
energetic and healing as we used to be.
That is very true. That is very, very true. And I'm finding it out, finding it out the hard way, really.
Right?
So, but it's cool.
Dude, totally.
And work is cool about it, I guess. It does make me think, oh man, maybe I need to, go for checkups and, go to the doctor and stuff like that. Get myself checked out. Get the good news, the bad news, the ugly news.
Hey, all I'll say honestly is if you're comfortable with that, then that's yes, I would do that. That's a good thing. It's just I have a real issue right now with the medical field.
I do
Because
too.
it's just all the dishonesty, man. It was like, so you just lied about the most obvious shit. So then exactly how do I feel comfortable knowing me if you're telling me the truth or not?
Right. Right. How yeah. I know that a lot of doctors are basically like a good mechanic, right? That's how I kind of look at them. They're good at fixing things, but when they start talking about health, I'm like, I tune out. I'm like, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Case in point, I like a lot of cholesterol. I have all my life, a lot of eggs, a lot of butter, right? And when they do blood work on me, they always come back and go, oh my God, your cholesterol was so high. And I say, what was the number? Oh, it's this and that. I was like, actually, that's pretty low. I need to be higher. No, you're going to have a heart attack. You need statins. You're like, I've never had a heart attack. I've never had an issue with my heart. And I operate at a, I need that cholesterol. I need that stuff, for all kinds of things.
Yeah.
So I just kind of tune out when they start talking about shit like that, because they really don't know what the hell they're talking about, or they're trying.
Well, they don't.
Some kind of
You can tell because they don't ask informative questions to then form an answer. They just go, "What's wrong with you?" Oh, and then there's this answer, and it's like, well, wait a minute. I just said this hurt. you didn't ask me anything on how this might come to be. What's my intake? What do I do? Am I active? Am I not active? Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Do I do jujitsu every day? Because I don't know. Maybe that's why my back hurts. But you didn't ask me that. You just put me on pain management or some shit. And it's,
Yeah.
this like me and the missus were talking because I got this lump on my left side. And I go, when you think about it, I've done been through 3 doctors, upper and lower colonoscopy shit. I've done had all these other tests, and not one person's ever addressed the lump on my left side. And it's like, and it's been there through all these little things that they do. Oh, here, this is going to fix you. Look here, we're going to ream your guts out from the inside and on the top end. We're just going to go ahead and give you a furrow. Well, that didn't fix shit. I mean, yeah, it got rid of some polyps, but that wasn't the issue. And that's why I told her, and I go, see, so they don't talk to you. And then when you try to address them, then they either cop an attitude. So this is my experiences here lately. I've either had one act like they're so holier than thou. So it's like, who do you think you are? You have an opinion, because he's all self-righteous. Then I had another little queer dude down in Houston with his little Bahama shirt and his little skin-tight butt cheek grabbing shorts on, come in and tell me how you're having a muscle spasm. What? Dude, have you even looked at the MRIs? Okay, I got to go. And so we left. And then the other one just doesn't even want to look you in the face. He talks to you like this, going, well, if you just got to have to look at and it's like, yo, dude, look at me, homie. I'm the one. And none of them ask you, what do you eat? Do you exercise? Are you outside? What do you do? None of these good general informational questions. And then you watch COVID go by and you go, you people really don't give a shit no more, do you? You done gotten complacent in your job. What's up, Moonsprout?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, there's good doctors out there. Sometimes you find a few, but for the most part, they have their marching orders, right? They're being told what to do, and they have to do it. That's what we've seen with the COVIDs, right? It's this protocol. Got to follow the protocol so we can get that money. If we don't follow this protocol, we ain't getting no money. And that's how they push it. I have, and so like this little thing that I'm going through right now, which is nothing, right? It's just I figure I just take a couple of days off to relax, allow myself time to heal, and then go back to work. Because I don't want to go to work crippled. I don't want to get crippled at work.
Right.
So demanding job, very demanding job. But yeah, right, Battlefield. So I have actually been thinking about VA, shit like that. I've never done it, and I'm 51 years old. I've been out for, man, almost 30 years. So I don't know. I'm kind of like pessimistic about talking to the VA, getting signed up and all that shit. But
yeah. Well, and I will say, because I probably need to clarify that, because I did some of that hyperbolic talk, and I talk like all doctors. It's just these doctors I've experienced around here coming up out of Houston and shit. That's the ones. So yeah, I'm because people, not everybody gripes about their doctor, so there's got to be some decent ones. I should have cleaned that up. My bad.
Yeah, right. Moving Sprouts free donut with your shot.
Yeah,
free donut.
See, and I got to tell you, it's like that. I kind of feel like that's one of those, informational questions for the patient. It's like you look at that doctor and go, so what do you think about the vaccine? I think their response is very telling on the way their perception on you is going to be. That's my take. If they shrug it off like, well, what? It was just, it's like, so you don't really study things. You don't pay attention to these current medical articles that are coming out, apparently, because they're all talking about the myocarditis and shit.
Right. Yeah. They're mechanics. They're straight up mechanics, and they get their little newsletter, and they don't have a lot of they don't dedicate a lot of time to it, right? They just kind of look it over, and go, oh, okay, whatever. I got a broken bone at 5 o'clock. I've got a colonoscopy at 5:30. It's it's just part. They're working their fucking schedule so they can get the hell out of there. Go do golf time, or something.
Well, and we talk about AI and stuff. Isn't it going to be scary if doctors start using AI to
Well,
basically
they
do their
they already
job
have.
for them? They
Yeah,
already
they
do.
already have in the medical field, especially in the paperwork portion of it. Yeah, there's a lot of that shit going on because it's so efficient, right?
I
But
know they're
they still
using it.
have to.
Well, they're using it in the testing labs. I know I've seen some articles on that stuff where they're using it to do the computations instead of actually having to set up all the beakers and stuff and all the actual equipment. They can actually type in the stuff that they want, and AI can do
Yeah, they run a
what do they
little.
call that, a methodical analysis.
Yeah, they run a scenario,
Yeah,
which
simulation.
we run a simulate. We do a scenario and it takes us 2 years. AI does it in like 10 minutes. You know.
Mhm. All righty, thank you, Michael. I was glad. I was kind of lingering there. I wasn't sure what to do, if I should continue with the stream or not, because I was like, oh, I got to wait and find out if Michael took that personal or not, because you know how I am. I'm all about the feels, man. I'm just so fucking with you. It's okay.
We are here to cater to your needs.
Yeah. I just love the way, because he
So,
did that. And I know Michael meant well, but it's like, and then he goes, I don't take it personal. Sometimes I will say, when I started this out, I used to kind of really, man, I'm kind of over it now. I figure, I tell people up front, dude, I'm not trying to insult. If I'm trying to insult somebody, I think it's going to be very plain and clear. And I think that anybody
yeah,
in the room would know that. So
yeah,
I,
yeah. I've seen this
I try
firsthand.
to just chill, dude.
Absolutely. I've seen this firsthand, and it is epic.
Yeah, I have
And
moments.
I'm like, hey, if you're offended, well, maybe you need to be offended. Or it struck a nerve. Hey, let's take a look at that nerve. Why are you so offended? You know, do a self assessment. You know, run your own
Yeah.
scenario. So why am I all pissed off about this? Well,
It's weird
maybe
too, because here's what I've realized, because I'm kind of over it now. I mean, I know that, but see, I was that way when I got out of prison the last time. Dude, I had this real trigger word was punk. That was a trigger word for me, punk,
right.
because in my head I was associating it to that world, and in that world that had a definition, and you better stand up or you're fixing to get run over by the mob. It
Yep.
is what it is. So I had the hardest time adjusting to that at first. That was one of my, because that was a trigger word, dude. I mean, it wouldn't matter. We could be sitting and have a good time. I've gone off in a mechanic shop before over that word, and went rolling through the showroom floor listening to the owner going, call the police, call the police. And then somebody coming over going, Brandon, you got to let him go. You got to let him go. He can't breathe. And it's like, man, don't call me that, dude. I'm telling you that. But see, now, if you call me a punk, dude, I just look at you and laugh. And it's like, you just have no clue. You just have no idea. Well, that's how the bootlicker thing was getting to me. I'm like, what? It's because it's that, I hate generalization, dude. I guess that's my thing. I just hate the generalization. It shuts, you know, it shows lack of thought, to be honest. If you just look at something and going, oh, that's all like that. That's why I kind of feel bad when I just realized what I said about doctors. It's like, yeah, that's kind of shitty, because I mean, no, you guys might have good doctors, and so I hate that generalization shit. Let's get
Yeah.
specific. Let's talk about the problem itself, not just what's up, kiss off. I'm glad you got power back. Hopefully, you and Chuck are doing all right. I have noticed on the radar. Are you under storms up there, Shad? Too?
No, not today. We got 83 degrees and full sun, so no thunderstorms. We had some yesterday. A little rain yesterday. That was about it.
Because I saw that on the map and I was like, man, up there. I'm going, man. I hope people are kind of ready.
Yep.
Oh, I know, Michael. No, it's totally cool. I'm just picking with you. Hell, the only reason I chimed in is because it was your comment. Show Intel says, hey, I was in prison as well. Hey,
All
I'm
right.
straight up about it. Intel. I went twice. I went from just crazy juvenile teenager to the army, and then right at a year, bam, out, went batshit crazy, went to prison, came out, went even more batshit crazy, and then the door shut that second time, and then it was like, hold on a minute now. I keep seeming to run into these walls, and what's the common denominator here? Oh, it's me. So after I got out the second time, it was a change of direction, and then I just looked at my life like, well, I've done enough shitty things. I need to start making more on the plus side. So got into my firefighting stuff, helping people, doing counseling, all that kind of stuff, and
Right on, man. Right on.
raised a couple of
Yep.
kids. Married for 30 something years now, and here I am. So I'm just a
Very good.
byproduct.
The byproducts. Yeah. All my life as a kid, young adult, that was me going in and out of juvie prisons and detention centers and correctional facilities. And luckily somebody was there to take me in, and change my life. Then I joined the Marine Corps, got out, and went to prison as a CO, right, as a prison guard. And that's when I had the kind of epiphany. I was like, wow, all my life, people told me that I keep going the way I'm going to go, keep fucking around, I'm going to wind up in prison. They were right, but I get to go home at night every night. So
Right?
uh, it was kind of weird. Kind of weird how life kind of says, "Hey, check this out." Like,
Dude, I was
oh,
talking
cool.
to somebody the other day, and to this day, all these decades later, I still remember this red haired boss named Felchek. He was a little bitty frame dude. And I remember this incident. So the farm that I was on in Texas was called Eastham, and it had the long hallway stuff, and then you had your buildings, your tiers off that run,
Okay. Yep.
and then you had quasi huts for the extras that it got later on. So the traffic from like commissary, chow, infirmary, all that kind of shit was all done down this main center hall that had the stripes on each side, and that's where you were supposed to go. And two-way traffic
Yep.
weren't supposed to be in the middle. Well, this one dude, and his name was Jeffries, and I had worked with him out in the field, and hell, I was with him when he popped his eyeball, dude. I forgot the name of the tree. It's not the mesquite trees, but it's a tree we've got down here that it'll shoot out thorns, dude. It grows long ass needles, and
Suck.
we were chopping them down, clearing the fields, and he whacked a brush, and it popped back and hit his eyeball, popped it. Well, he was a transfer dude from another state. See, Texas, we don't have life without parole. You get life or you get the death penalty. We don't do life without parole. So he was a transfer though from another state with a life without parole, which means he's down here and he ain't never getting out. Well, dude, this little old boss, I'm kind of hitting a lick. I'm going back out to the quasi huts. Well, all of a sudden I hear this little dude go, "Hey, you!" And I looked because hey, I don't know if I was the hey you or not. Well, it was that Jeffries dude, and then this little bitty new boss, dude, and you could see they didn't even find uniforms small enough to fit his frame, so it had the baggy look to it and everything. And dude, he goes to jam him up about a button on his shirt, the top button on his shirt. And I was like, oh shit, dude. Because you got to know the room, dude. And it's like you realize you're jamming up a dude that like there is no chance of ever getting out. So he'll just punch you in the fucking face in the blink of an eye, dude. He's got
Right.
nothing to lose. And so I said, hey, boss, I got a question. Hold on. I said, well, no, it's real important. Well, he started coming towards me. When he got over by me, I flat out told him, going, look, I'm just trying to look out for you, boss. But that dude you're jamming up is here from his transfer, life without parole, and a button just not worth what that's probably going to escalate to. And he just kind of looked at me. I said, where did you work before you got here? He said, Burger King. I said, dude, you need to need
Yeah.
to pay attention. I said, you got people in here, and I said, yeah, you're finding out that this is a convict farm, It's not an inmate farm. This is a convict farm, but then there's rules to the convict world. And you don't jam up people over top buttons on the little white shirts. That's just, and he just kind of, he said, well, I appreciate it, I guess. And I said, well, it's okay. I mean, hey, just me and you. And dude, for the longest time, he come back to me months later and was like, hey, I get what you're saying now. I've been kind of paying attention. And I said, that's it. You gotta read the room, dude.
Yeah.
You ain't around friendlies, regardless of how much bad these people might shake your hand. These are not friendlies,
Right.
And the people that are really righteous and correct in their shit, they know that that'll never happen. And they don't push it. Like, I never pushed it. I did drive my tractor, and some of them bosses would throw me cigarettes. They'd bring me cassette tapes to play in my tractor as I'd run the water wagon and run the cotton fields with the tractors. So I kind of, but see, I didn't give them no shit. That's why they didn't mind looking out for me. I don't give you no shit. I don't make your paperwork longer. I don't bring no drama. I do my time. I just want to go home, hit my lick and do it. And they respected that. So it was a different time, though. Man, you're talking, that was, my first trip was the late 80s. And then I was out in the late 90s. So all this 2000 shit, all this new gang banging mentality. And I saw this coming 100 back then, dude. I used to tell me and my mom, because she worked at TDC Farms, and we would talk about some of the shit. And she would have me go out to this. I only got to do it a few times. And then finally she goes, and I go, what do you want me to do? I'm not spinning the shit. I lived amongst these people. You can get up here and do all this. This sounds good to everybody outside. But the reality is, dude, you need to get up off your ass, stop acting like you got some justifiable reason to go jack with other people and break the fucking law, and you don't end up here. It's not a hard concept. And she'd go, well, you just, you need to be more positive and more. What do you want me to motivate you, dude? You're locked up. You don't want to be here. Change that.
Yeah.
And she used to get so mad. But we would talk about that because, and people are talented, dude. If you look in the prison farms, and I don't know how most other states are, and I'm sure that most of them have like a craft shop. In Texas, we have craft shops in the farms. And so you'll get, dude, and they make like everything. Matter of fact, I got cabinets in this bathroom right here were made by inmates out here at the prison farm. They were made in the carpentry shop, and then they were painted and everything, and then loaded on a trailer. Went up to the back gate and got them with a trailer, loaded up, and then brought them home and installed them. I mean, my mom had a bed that was stuff made with real live Texas cotton, dude. It took 4 people to move that damn king size mattress, just the mattress, because it was just nothing but cotton. So I mean, we got cars that get painted. We got the guys that build trailers. You can go into the farms and you'll see handmade saddles. Most of the bosses all wear handmade leather shit. A lot of DPS has prison farm made leathers on, because you'll just find some of the best leather work down here. Well, me and Mom's got to talking. It's like, you realize, look at all the shit that goes down, dude. You take away the world's interruptions, and you just put this dude in an isolated little environment, and you give him a fucking box of fucking matches. And the dude's making jewelry boxes, clocks, all kinds of shit. You give him a toothbrush, and the dude's already formed it in to be a little G.I. Joe dude by heating. I mean, the inventiveness, and why it's because you take away all this bullshit out here, and all of a sudden you can focus. And it's weird. It's just, and yet
this guy had built a miniature. He built it out of paper mache. He built a miniature model of the prison that was so detailed. He even had little people that were the actual people in this thing, and we had to throw it away. I felt bad. Felt real bad. He worked for years on this thing, and he was still working on it. He was like constantly just he would find little things like, hey, I like that piece of string. Can I have that? I'm like, what? Yeah. He'd make a little headband for somebody, that little thing he was making or something. I'm like, what the hell? Look at this guy. It was just
if he had only modeled something besides the actual farm.
And we had to throw it away because we were thinking they said it was a security risk.
Dude, you're making a model of it
for fucking years. Every inch, every brick, every door, every window. You know, every blade of grass. You probably know. So why not? Why not just let them do it? But yeah,
Because
shit
it's
like
them
that,
next
man.
dudes that come in the next 5 years that want to get out, but they don't really know the environment. Well, he can actually lay it all out for them with the model now. It's like, no, this is how this is going to go. And I get it.
Right. Yeah, I mean, like
Unfortunately, it's
this
too bad it
section
wasn't
over
some
here.
other
Don't
kind of,
fuck around over here because that's
yeah.
the LA. That's the Kings right there. Over here is the these people, and he had it all set up. It was pretty cool. But yeah, I mean, giving them, they're always going to find something to do, and they're going to put their just total focus and dedication into that.
Yeah. It's sad that
Give
though they
somebody
can't.
something to do.
It's just sad that people can't acknowledge that they're capable of doing that out here. Learn to take
Right.
away the distractions yourself out here so you don't get locked up only than to have the state or the feds take away all the distractions.
Yeah.
You know? Because man, look at all the
Yep.
talent. That's what I look at, man, all the shit that comes up out of just this farm here nowadays with the trailers. I'm like, I'm sorry. Every one of the dudes that are sitting there building these low boy trailers and these goosenecks coming out of there, hay trailers and shit. I'm like, see, dude, do you realize that if you had just not been slinging that dope, that you could have actually just got you a damn Lincoln welder and right there in your own little garage been making these very trailers and selling them yourself. So because you're capable, there it is. You're doing it right now, but for some reason you needed the state to come and tell you to stop selling the fucking meth. And here, look, there's a welder, and you're like, hey, wow, this is cool. I'll do this. Dude, should have been doing that instead of slinging the meth.
And that's probably that aha moment too. And I've known a lot of a lot of cons in my life. Worked with a whole bunch of them. One was my boss, and he did a little. Yeah, I think he did a nickel. Uh, and he said the best thing he learned about prison is that I can do anything. I was like, what? He's like, yeah, I can do anything. You put me in any job, I will do it. And I will focus. I will learn. I will figure out a way to do it the best way possible. Like I can do anything. I was like, that's a hell of a damn outlook to coming out of prison. And he said like I did every job in prison, everything. I wanted to learn everything. I just wanted to be do something because you're bored as fuck. He's like,
Yeah.
why would you just sit in your little room and get fat, whatever, or deal with the interpersonal relationships going on, the bullshit,
Yeah.
or
Join the little
I'm
clique
gonna
and
go
get
do
involved in
something.
all that bullshit.
I'm gonna go cut grass. I'm gonna get on the grass detail. I'm gonna build this. I'm gonna do laundry. Right? He's like, man, he's like, I could right now. I could leave and go to a freaking dry cleaner place and take over and run every damn machine. Know exactly what to do the maintenance on it, everything. He's like, I know what to do. It's like, damn. Uh, I mean, it's just that mentality. That was very impressive. And of course, handle your business. If somebody and deal with people that are just difficult. I was a difficult one. He knew how to
Yeah.
deal with me, right? I would just kind of be like, I would fucking fly off the handle, and he just walk right up to me, and go, get a hold of yourself. What the fuck? We got a fucking job to do. Get a hold of yourself. Go over there, chill the fuck out, take a smoke break, and then come back here. Let's do this shit. And I'm like, all right, okay, yeah, you're right. He's like, just don't worry about it, man. Shit pisses you off. Just come on back. Fuck that guy, and let's just handle business, right? He's like, and if there's a big old problem, I'll handle it myself, right? I'm like, all right, cool. And it showed the depth that he had, right? Because he was willing to just learn everything, do everything, and he wasn't afraid to do new things. And that was his message that prison taught him. I was like, wow, that's amazing.
It's a wake up call, you know?
Yeah,
And see, and that's what I will say I've noticed different, which so back like when I was in right at the end of the second time is when we probably, I guess you could say, we became like a lot of other prisons across the country. But like the first trip, I went to a farm called Ferguson, and it was called the Gladiator Farm. Dude, all you did was go beat the dirt. If it wasn't cotton season, because I picked my fair share of cotton. If it was, but if it wasn't harvest time, then you just went out there and you beat dirt. You just had a chain gangs squads that were just they tilled the ground for the next thing. So that's what you did, and they because they worked you out. They called it the Gladiator Farm because that was all your that's all you did. And then in the evenings, you'd fight, sleep with one eye open, get up in the morning, go beat the ground, pick cotton, whatever, and that's what you did. So, but
Yeah.
TDC was self sufficient. Like we had our beef farms, we had vegetable farms. We made our clothing, we made the broom handles, the mop handles, we made everything, dude. It was totally self sufficient.
Wow.
The belts that inmates, we used to wear 2-piece uniforms, pants and shirts, made those in the garment factories. The belts were made. Everything, the Brogans boots that we used to wear was made there. Everything, dude. And then I remember, I don't know exactly when they started on some of the other stuff because you got to kind of see the marketing, the shipping and receiving of that to catch it. And the second trip I was outside, I was maintenance a lot, and but I remember right before I left, just 2 months before I got out, I remember seeing a seal test milk truck, refrigerated truck, come in and go to the kitchen dock, and they unloaded those crates of the little cartons of milk. And I went, wait, what? So I went and talked to the kitchen major and just talking to them and found out that, oh, yeah, now we don't get the milk from the dairy and then just distribute it to the farms. No, we send it out to seal test and then we buy back these little cartons. And it was like, wait, what? And it's like, oh, here we go. And that's when TDC went over into the corporate mentality and outsource this, outsource that. So see, they got these damn dudes laying up there watching Oprah and shit in the View all day, talking their smack, acting in their little cliques and shit. And then you're going to let them out, dude, after 10, 12, 15, 20, whatever, 2 years. But then you're going to expect something different from them? Bullshit. Lower the sentences to all this shit. And then by God, you're going to go out there and you know what? You're going to know the state that has the highest crime rate. You know how you're going to know it? The whole goddamn union's going to know it. And you know how? Because it's going to be the cleanest mofo on this patch of land because you go put the happy asses to work. There is a punishment to this. Little old Sheriff Arapaho or Pario or whatever that dude's name down there in Arizona was. That's the dude. Make it. You should not want to be there. But the minute you start hearing, and this is what I was going to reference to whenever I first started this little soapbox, was me and my mom used to talk because I can remember hearing people sit there and go, yeah, I got a nickel, but it ain't no sweat. I got a couple of cousins, so I can do that, no problem. Or, oh, I got a dime. My uncle's there, though, so I can do that standing on my head. It's no biggie. And I'm just like, the disconnect, because it's not a place to not want to be.
Yeah. Yep. It's glorified, right? It's romanticized, in a lot of cultures,
Yeah.
So you got like,
oh, yeah, that's a patch.
Yeah, exactly. It's an achievement. You're like, wait a minute, you did something stupid, absolutely stupid, and then got did a nickel or a dime or something, whatever, and now you get out and you got all this street clout and like, look at me, I'm a boss, right? Ooh, I do what I want, right? And boom, you either get killed or you wind up back there again,
Yep. What's up, Tuck? Stop to get hoagies. All righty. Got some growth.
Distractions. What's up? Show and tell. Yeah,
What's
right.
up,
So I don't know. I mean, actually, yeah, definitely talk to somebody. He's talking about going to therapy and stuff. Yeah, if you really need it, man. Just and also take some time to yourself and just kind of relax and look at the situation and figure out
Hey, Lele.
what's going on.
Is it weak-minded getting some therapy? Oh, okay. I see what you're talking about now, Shed. Shoot, no actions. You know, you know what? I'm gonna straight up say it because here's where I'm at with shit. You know, I mean, I'm 60 years old, and I've been there, done that. I got the shorts, the shoes, the t-shirt, threw them all away. So all the shit that people, you know, if you need to talk to somebody, when people want to try to shame somebody or make fun of somebody for doing that, dude, that's just you got to remember that that's their own weaknesses that's lashing out at you. That's what that whole issue is about. You want to go get help, you want to talk to somebody, and somebody has an issue with that. That's their flaws that are showing through, and they're dumping the shit on you. So you kick that shit to the curb, dude. You get the therapy, you talk. If talking to a priest is helpful to you, brother, then you do that. If talking to a doctor is helpful, then you do that. If talking to a dude that you know just as a friend, do you do that? Whatever you feel is going to click for you to help you out of the shithole, not what other people think. So I just and dude, I'm so done with this whole tough man bullshit that people want to throw around about, you know, oh, the feels and, you know, crying or now you go to whining and talking. Bullshit, dude. You need to talk to somebody, you talk to somebody. You know when it becomes whining is when you don't do anything about it and you're just repetitive. Now that's whining. But I don't give a shit if you're going through a divorce, if you're tired of working on your fucking car, if you're trying to not drink anymore, you don't want, if you need to talk to somebody about it and you just talk, you do you, boo. Don't let nobody else guide you. Otherwise, that's just falling for that. What's up, Monty?
Yep.
Savage.
Definitely, man, definitely. You know, and I've been humbled many times in life. And you know, I've always fancied myself a tough guy. I can do whatever. I can take it. But you know, I've also you know just sat in a dark room and cried. You know, you know, fuck it.
That's it.
You know, and then talk to folks. Just talk, just getting it out there, just putting it on the table, right? You know, having somebody to just listen is great sometimes. You know,
Yeah.
that's basically that's why I started this YouTube experience. You know, it was good. It's good therapy for me. It really is. You know, because I'm quite mad, quite mad.
Right.
Uh,
What's up,
and
best life?
so it helps. It does help. You know, and I enjoy people, you know, talking shit to me, you know, kicking me in the ass, slapping me around, you know, telling me, giving me knife hands, right? You know, like it kind of puts things in perspective for me. It's like, oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, yeah. You know, I need to stop. I need to stop thinking this way. You know, there's so many different perspectives about your situation. You know, and I've always I've always been like, you know, in the beginning, I was like, oh, you don't understand what I'm going through. No, they don't, but they do, right? And I think it's kind of selfish, you know, for myself personally to say, well, you don't know what I'm going through, because there's a wealth of knowledge out there of people that have went through way worse, right? And you know, they kind of chuckle at you, you know, whereas you know most folks would go, oh, you're just you're stupid. You know, you just need to do this, this, and this. I've been through way worse. It's that person that's been through way worse that says, "Yeah, I feel you, man. Keep talking, keep talking." You know, they don't try to berate you. They don't try to, you know, one up you, right? You know,
Yeah. Right.
it is. It's all relative. It is all relative. What's up, full mind, man?
Man, if the missus was here, she'd be cracking up when you said that one uppers because she's heard me tirade on that for decades. Because I'll just you can overhear things, and that's what I always call. I call them, oh man, another one upper, and because it just you run across them, you'll hear them, you know, and it's just like casual conversation, you know. Got a 9 foot fishing rod? Really? I got a 12 foot one. It's like, wait, what?
Right?
And you start noticing that no matter who says what, they're always, you know, if you made an extra $100 this weekend, oh, well, I made 200. Oh, I went over to the casino and we won $1,000. Oh, really? Won 2,000 whenever we went. It's just, and then you just notice them. And then I used to make fun of them, and I'd come home and I'd laugh and I'd tell her going, now, I guess we got another one upper around here. And she goes, what? And I go, oh yeah. said, hell, just in one day, he's already done better than 5 guys on the crew. So no matter what it was about, and I said, it's just sometimes it's so funny. Sometimes it's subtle. The subtle ones aren't so bad. Some of the obvious ones, though, dude. I mean, I've been through guys that have shown up, and it's like, do you even understand like who you're talking to and stuff? Like, we all know you're a rookie, and you're going to come in trying to chest bump and shit. You do understand you're stepping into this squad. This squad didn't come to you, right? I mean, just so we understand how this all works. It's like, well, I've done this. Well, I did 50 acres myself. Well, who? So? Dude, do you realize we pushed 250 over here with 3 of us? Woo! I mean, it's like, and but you hear the stupidest things.
Right on, actions, right on. Or I love the, hey, I broke my leg. Well, yeah, I broke both my legs. You know, like, oh, okay. Yeah.
You'd be surprised how much I hear of that when people ask me about the scar, and I go, "Well, I've had half my cervical replaced." All of a sudden, somebody, and I've had people come to me later going, "I've known that dude for 10 years. I don't remember when he had surgery," because then he'll go, "Yeah, I've had my whole hip replaced," and it's it's like I've had that even happen with just this. I don't know, man. Some society got lost, and my best recollection is dude, 2015, 16 just flipped everything. Somebody punched the magical code buttons in the machine, and we like time warped into some weird dimensional shit.
Oh yeah,
and
and you see it in everything. Yeah, it's funny you were talking about the leadership, the lack thereof. You know, everybody just kind of backed away, and we don't know what to do. We're not gonna. Well, we don't know what to do, so we're not going to do anything. You know, in every field possible, we've seen everything start to just shut down. It was just amazing to watch. You know, you had shortages everywhere. You had, people, businesses were shutting down. You know, just because of some fantastical claim that we're all going to fucking die or something. You know, and we got to take major precautions. What's that thing? It just reminds me of that. You know, if those who was about those who pride security over freedom deserve neither. That's exactly what was going on, you know, and then how everybody was getting in on it. Like you would have these Karens just like, you need to wear that mask. You're gonna kill grandma, right? And I'm like, screw you. I'm not wearing no damn mask. You know, my beard is my mask. I'm immune. Sorry, I didn't drink the Kool-Aid. Keep it stepping. I mean, so many people. I mean, just fell into that self. Like, hey, this is the way things are in society, so everybody needs to enforce it. And we forget that we have a history of defiance in this country. You know, and I don't. There's a lot of people that really don't care about your enforcement. You know, especially when it comes to something as simple as that. You know, and we still see the ramifications of this to this day in other countries, even here. You know, there's still protocols in place. There's still people that believe that piece of cloth is going to save them while they're driving in their car, or while they're running, or while they're taking a swim or some shit, or bike riding. It's like, all right, y'all really got stupid. I used to be a people person, but people fucked it up.
Oh man, that's I say that all the time. The Mrs.
It'd be a great job
order that they had. Huh?
This would be a great job waiting for the customer.
Right. Dude, it's like society. There was like, I don't know if it was the big shifting of the flow of everybody's day-to-day media, because when they flipped that universal switch to Orange Man bad, so it like blurred and changed the kaleidoscope picture to be totally something else. And now it's been so far in, people just, it almost makes you think of people just sitting there looking at the screen and the little swirly things going on. because it's like people have just they've divided everything so bad, scattered shit to the winds. Where
Yeah.
everybody kind of had a flow. I mean, think about it, dude. In the '90s, the early 2000s, till 2010, sure, the government had their corruption, but society functioned each other differently. You had the crime, yeah, but you had a different majority. This was still America.
Yeah.
This is still America, and so do you? I ain't got to like everything, but this, and then somewhere, dude, in like 15, 16, when that dude said, you know what, I'm going to run. It was like a joke, and then he won, and it's like somebody went, holy shit, hit the breaker, and somebody went over to the big red button and went, kaboom. And it just changed the media and everything that people were fixing to be told, and in such a mass bombardment that
Yeah.
it fractured things, dude.
Yeah. That
And
social
now,
engineering monster came to life. That
and
social
see, and that's
engineering
why.
machine.
But see, I don't think that was a plan, though. I think that was unprepared. I think they just freaked out too. I think that just they freaked out, and their response was, "Okay, well, that's it. We're going all in." Well, when they did, they flipped it. That's why they can't even get it. Now they got their own damn radicals that are going off the rails on them, and it's like, wait, what? No, I don't know. New York, y'all really want to do this, the communist thing? I mean, are you sure? Hey, man, you know what? You open Pandora's box, dude.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's of course they've done this many times, and the puppet masters they know the playbook, but they don't have the experience, because it was like 100, 200 years ago, or in another country or whatever, that they did this social engineering thing, and then they just they're basically like, okay, we got to enact this. We're gonna run this social engineering. Shit, how do we do this? Oh fuck, we got so many problems right now. How do we? Oh, it's getting out of hand. Abort mission. Yeah, so yeah, you're right. It caught them off guard, and it is catching them off guard now, because now we're just like, well, screw you. And there's so much division in their section as well. They don't know what to do.
Oh yeah.
There's no playbook for
Well,
that.
dude, when you zoom out and you look, and you can. That's where I've said it before. That's why I don't go with there's like one group or anything with one plan to all of it. I think there's people that have bad intentions for America. And you know what? If everybody's going to shoot at the same target, then eventually the target starts taking damage. I mean, it is what it is. And because, dude, think about it. So, because 9/11, so 2001, man, if you did anything to this country, that's it. Rally the troops. We're unleashing hell. That's it. Everybody grabbing flags. There was, man, parades of American flags. It was, man, USA, USA. The shift from that in 20 years, dude, it shows you that the breaking down and the rioting, the Antifa BLM bullshit, fragmentation, all this anti-American, all this crap talk. And then here's where my example is dude, I got to thinking about North Carolina, Maui, North Carolina.
Yeah.
And you're kind of going, Biden, man, evil bad Biden. I get it. But what I did notice is I'm sorry, where was all our media coverage? How come this was not, where are the American flags? Where's that same response we had to Katrina? When it took out New Orleans, America responded.
Yeah.
Now sure, FEMA sucked ass. Not saying anything, but the media, there was all the reporting, man. You'd hear about the devastation. Let's get food, let's get water. There was all the promoting, right? Then you got Maui. Man, look, that kind of happened. You had the wildfires in California. They didn't really broadcast it. It's like they were intentionally trying to fragment America more, because if you show that, people, it's going to fire off that naturally, and they've got to get you used to not reacting. And I got to tell you, man, I don't know. I'll be honest, and I said it yesterday. I get a little concerned when you kind of just overlook it to where everything is off, and you're like, yeah, because I got to tell you, I don't know, man. You watch these mobs of people and the way that they just move in. We got this county Colonial Ridge shit that took place over here,
Oh yes.
and so, dude, that's 30,000 plus. That just was
Wow.
like, boom, here you go. And
Wow.
so it totally blew the school district size. I mean, the little crooked cartel money came in and they built some houses, but it changed the whole dynamic of that area that was that way. So that's why, I mean, definitely so when I say this, I'm not like going, man, communities, mags. This is what I guess you can call it, a mag. If that's the new term, it is. That's cool. But it's your communities. People need to learn to start, but it's not just going and hand picking these people that agree with everything you say. The community basis is being able to work with other people and maintain that neutral status. It's not just isolating, going only people that wear camo shorts, that no, you be able to do whatever. It's you need core principles. But it's community, man, because you just can't survive. It's 330 million people. And if you just let everything around you slowly collapse to your group of, hey, I'll even give you the benefit of the doubt and go, shit, man, you've gotten big time. You're 100 grand people. You got 100,000 groups somewhere. You've taken a quarter of a state. You're locked in. It's all good. But dude, if you got 300 plus million people around you that are still operating at a whole different level, there's a moment when, I'm sorry, ask the Indians how it worked out.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
So there comes a time. So what's
see-
the answer? The answer is to try to start fixing some of this, and that's why my thing is being an example for the younger. Because and people make fun of me. Some of the email I got and it cracked me up, but little man is my focus. I'm 60-year-old dude, man, and I'm kind of starting to get around. So I got my own little personal. My son had a son. I love my granddaughters, and I've even shown that. And then I've talked about, but this is my grandson, so this is my lineage. And if you don't absorb that, that's totally cool. I'm down with that. Do you, boo? But in my reality, the male name is where the lineage is at. And so to me, that's my lineage right there. My granddaughters, I love them to death. But this is my lineage. This is the name that's going to be, because my granddaughter is going to marry off and become some other name. But this is my name. My name will carry on through him. And then you start kind of watching him and how he's understanding things and how he's learning things. And it just puts things in perspective for me. And I start kind of going, this is where I think we need to, because he needs to see representation. Like, okay, I get it. We're all cool around our living room. You take him down to play a McDonald's playground, and guess what? Now all of a sudden, here's the mom and dad over here dropping the F-bomb every other word. He jokes around and slaps the shakedown on the table, and not well hygiened. And so, what's the counter? We need better adults, man. We need better examples. People need to know that their actions do matter for other people. There's younger people that will represent their behavior some way. They'll see something at a store, whatever, and so it can mimic. And I don't know. Maybe that's thinking too much in some people's eyes, but I don't know. I look at him, and there's one shot that little dude's got at this life. One shot.
Yep.
And I looked at the trajectory, and it's like,
right away.
Yeah,
he remembers that. Yeah. And like you said, that's your name. That's your name. That's your lineage. That's your, that's the future. And so you're going to exist through him, right? When you're dead and gone, he's going to carry your name and your principles and your morals, your ethics, all those things are going to, kind of be the ingredients of who he's going to be. And so you got to take an active role in building him. And then eventually
moments I look at my son. I don't like everything my son does. I watch, man. We getting into it so much because I don't like everything he does. There's a lot of shit he does that I don't. But what I do notice is there are some core basics, that he's picked up, and he picked up by the way he was raised. The love of animals. To harm. You don't just don't take life. You just don't treat things that are living and discard like that. You don't do that. That's the way he was raised. Well, there's a core, and it's nice to see those moments. Sure, he does other decisions because that's where the world comes in. See, I mean, as a parent, you can only do so much, and you can do your house, but then that's where you need the rest of society kind of help participate like we used to. If you were a smart ass little kid down the block down the road or something in front of somebody else's place, well, then their parents would come out and say something to your ass if you were a smart ass, because it was like, hey,
right. And that's the embarrassment on your family. And next thing you know, it's you're getting that treatment.
Yeah.
You're getting that belt. You're getting that whatever it is. You're getting punished. It's gonna be handled.
Switch.
Right. There's a beating. You're gonna get your ass beat, basically. Beat your kids. I remember, my mom and dad, I've been being taken home because I was found to be mischievous. And an adult would take me home and like, guess what I found your son doing? And mom and dad would be like, thank you very much. We'll handle it from here. And the door closes and the beatings begin. Right? It's like, all right, here we go. You knew the consequences, right?
Right.
Say hi. Hi, kiss off. I said hi to you.
Let's see, what is that? You were embarrassing people? I don't know. Are you?
That was the norm, though. You didn't. You didn't do anything in public. If I did anything in public with my mom and dad, like say I was acting a fool in church or whatever, I'd get that magic elbow that come out of nowhere, just boom, hit me in the rib. And if I continued, it was a trip to the bathroom, and everybody knew. Uh-oh, he's going to the bathroom. The door's locking behind him, right? It was about to be dealt with. But if anybody had to get involved, it was a major embarrassment. Anybody else, and it was mom and dad's gonna handle kids, and that's how it was, because they would get there was a lot of talk, right? Like, did you see what so and so's kid did? And man, I don't know, they didn't handle that well, but.
Well, and everything was scattered out. It's like TV shows. They didn't promote the shit stuff. Hell, commercials didn't promote the shit stuff. So it was like a uniform kind of thing. Everybody kind of got it. Now it's with the digital. I think the digital, because all of a sudden, it's funny how we got so much exposures from other countries that don't even have the freedoms we have, but somehow they have totally jacked our world up by just coming in and going blah 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 blah. And it's like, wait, what?
Right. Yeah. A lot of countries have different.
Y'all shouldn't take that. You shouldn't take that. You don't need to put up with that. And it's like, wait, don't you live in a country that has less rights than we do? And so on.
Right. Who are you to speak?
I do lots of shit in public. I want to see the arrest record. I don't know if I have enough storage on the tablet to hold that file. Kiss off.
Right.
All I needed was a backhand. Right, Wayne. Hey, my dad used to have the smiling eyes. That's when you knew. It's like, oh, better check yourself. There's something up. But a lot of times it'd be the elbow on the table. My dad could not stand an elbow on the table when it was supper time.
Oh yeah.
When you're sitting there eating, do not put the elbow on the table. And man, you could slip up and just kind of be talking or something, and then put that elbow on there, and then all of a sudden you make contact with him, and he's got that smiling eye, dude. And it'd be like, brain goes, zzz, and all of a sudden it's like elbow. Oh shit, yep. Yeah. And if you didn't register fast enough, all of a sudden here comes the hand. Swag. What? Elbow on the table. Oh yes, sir.
Right. Yep. and as kids we forget, right? We forget things, and that's what they remind us. You know, don't talk with your mouth full. Open the door for people. Speak only when spoken to. Speak politely. You know, speak with
I never.
have respect.
It was amazing. At 12, we weren't. We didn't get to say how we knew everything, and now all of a sudden you got 12-year-olds that want to preach to you and stuff and tell you what's up.
Oh, really? Yeah. Okay. Right. Yeah. Right.
Oh, I couldn't
Yep.
figure out what that was. I forgot I had my music and it was turned down.
Absolutely, Rabbit. Absolutely. I helped raise all my cousins and nieces and nephews, and I never really beat them. Actually, we beat each other for fun. That was fun, right? I was even though they're my nieces and nephew, I was Uncle Shed, and so we would have just battle royals, having fun. But my my because they were not my kids, uh, I my discipline was go sit in the bathroom. That was my only thing. Just you want to throw a tantrum. Oh you're not getting your way. Whatever. Go sit in the bathroom, and you get out when I tell you to come out. You know they sit in there and cry. You know maybe they take the shampoo and throw it all over the toilet or something, make a mess. Like oh really? Well you're going to clean that up and you're going to sit in there even longer. And I would usually just wait till they stop crying and things get quiet because now I know they're reflecting, they're thinking, they're like, oh, okay, here's the ramification. This is what happens when you mess up, and they sit there and they start thinking. I'm like, all right, you can get out now. It usually takes about 5 minutes, right? Whatever. It's a lifetime. It's a long time for them though because they're missing out on all the fun or whatever's going on, right?
Oh
So yeah,
yeah.
that was my only punishment. Go sit in the bathroom. And if they were really bad, like, hey, I just took a dump in there. Enjoy.
Now you can deal with it.
Yep. Take it in. But
What's
the
up, Tiger?
adventures we had. Yeah. What's up, y'all?
Can you hear that mower in the background?
No, I really
Okay.
can't.
He comes around this way. I'll mute it as he makes this path by me. Of course, I might do something. Might at the end of the stream because if he turns and points that discharge towards me and I get smacked with a limb, I have my own little silver limb that I'll throw back.
Right?
Yeah, got me in life all screwed up, son.
Ouch.
Because if you ain't smart enough to figure out to point that discharge, then I'll be a reminder for you. I can tell you that now. I ain't fixing to get popped by somebody else's mower. Nephews are full of brats. They don't have a thing to do with
I mean, I feel you, Savage, but I took an active role in uh, their the building, I guess. What's up, Chemical Carl? Right on. Thanks, Chemical Carl. Yeah.
Oh, what's up, Carl? Cherokee?
Tigger,
What is
what's
this?
going on?
I missed so much of the chat. Stop being an ass over 20 years ago. Well, right on, Wayne. Wolverines! Oh, I guess, yeah, y'all can't really see the cabinet thing no more. Let me shift that. Kind of makes me glad I never had kids, really. I'd have a well much disciplined little punching bag. Apology. Man, I love. I was so excited when I had my son. I was looking forward to it. Scary as shit, and that's why it actually changed my. I used to do that typical talk. It's like, boy, if I could go back, and be 15 and know then what I know now, and then after my son was born, it's like, that's about as far back as I could go. If I got a chance to go back, it'd be just well, at least when my daughter was born, and then that way at least I got my kids. But then yeah, because you just there's some there little people, man. That becomes your part that you're donating to society. You're bringing into the world. And the
Yeah.
way you teach them.
Yep. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And that's how it's always been. And it's always will be. That family unit. The family unit builds the city, builds the community, which builds the state, builds the nation.
Yep. What was like? What are if you don't mind me asking, Chad? What was your like? What year range was say you're like 12 to 17 kind of years? What years were those?
What was I doing? I was
Well,
a
just like
complete
what was
shit.
that in? Was that like in the
I
80s,
was,
90s?
yeah, yeah. So I was born in 1974. So yeah, 80s and 90s, complete. It's a different time, and
Yeah,
I grew
man.
up in the hood. Grew up in the hood, and then went to the wood. Just moved around a lot. So yeah, I mean, and yeah, that's funny you talk about punks. I got into the punk movement, right? I had a mohawk and skateboard, all kinds of shit. I was, talking about anarchy and
Yeah.
let's destroy society. We're all gonna die anyway in a nuclear holocaust. So let's just run around with leather jackets and do what we want. Which I found out it didn't happen. Right, so we all didn't die. Like, oh shit! Now I'm grown. Now I'm getting in trouble. You know, things do matter. So and, yeah, so it's just lots of diversity. I grew up in the hood, in Tennessee, and then of course, my family always had, land out in the woods, and we would have. I'd get pushed around, moved around from here to there, every summer or whatever, in an attempt to try to, get me to come around, But I was just so rebellious, full of spite, piss and vinegar. Uh, you know, I just couldn't. I couldn't listen. Wouldn't listen. But right, savagely.
And that's part of the blessing too. Is I guess I've kind of gone because having kids. I was trying to get where it wasn't such a glare on the thing. I can see Chad a little better. Uh, it changed the perspective because it's like the minute she's like, "Oh, I'm pregnant." It's just like I don't know. Somehow in my brain, it's like it was. I started the fight then that it wasn't about me. I didn't get it all perfect out the gate, but that's when the fight within myself started because then my actions had consequences, and it wasn't just me. You know,
Yeah,
uh, getting mad at work or getting mad at doing this. It didn't. It wasn't just me. It wasn't. I wasn't. All of a sudden I had to start thinking things through in a different way. And that was a big changing moment, which I was trying to get my shit together whenever I met her, but it was I was still on a rough start. I'd done been married, divorced, totally my all my fault. Um, Relapsed a little bit, still had some anger issues, and so still having some issues. And yeah, I was actually building this prison unit whenever I broke my back, and that's how I met her the first time. Anyway, went up for the first time. She used to be a physical therapist, Dave. That's how I met the missus. That's why this is nothing new what I'm going through as far as I feel like shit. I've been feeling shitty for a long time. It's just part of life. That's how I met her. That broke my back. Had a 10-inch header. I heard, "Look out!" And as I look at the person, they're looking up. So I follow their eyes, and one of those man lifts was trying to balance this 30-foot long 10-inch header. And he hit a rut. Well, when he did, he rocked. Well, then that pipe said, "Woo!" and it swung off the one, and as it come down, so man, it smacked me and pinned me backwards in this, on the ground in this pile. So that's how I met her. Because then I had to go to therapy. I had to learn how to walk again, do all that. And then somewhere, one of those nights, all of a sudden my phone rang, and it was, I just figured I'd call and see how you were doing. And it was like, oh, okay. And next thing you know, here we are 30-something years later. Yes, son, I won her over by cooking. Once I got up and got to moving and started having to go to therapy every day of the week and stuff, well, then they cut me to every other day, 3 days a week. And so then I'd be bored. So on the days in between, I would pull out my mom's recipe books and I would look at them and I'd go, oh, okay. So then I'd make this pie or I'd make this cake or make this dish. Mainly it was the pastries and stuff, because then I would just take them up there the next day to them and go, here, well, I made this. I mean, ain't no way I'm eating all this. So here you go. And so I always joke and say I'm won her over. Dude, I made an apple pie. To this day, I'm still proud of the apple pie, dude. I made the apple pie with the trimmed off crust, woven and everything, dude. It looked just like the picture. And I was like, yeah, I could do it.
Oh,
What's up, Wild Dragon?
Apple pie. Yes, sir.
And that's probably part of where I get the whole, it just, man, you can't let people tell you can't do something.
Yeah.
Because people be quick to tell you, oh, it's just okay. It's like we talk about with freedoms, and we were talking about like the protection for freedom. Well, it's the same thing with your head. You don't let people in there and start telling you what you can't do. You need people in your head they'll encourage you and tell you can do it. You want to be the little engine that could.
Chugga, 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 choo, choo.
That's it.
Yep.
And it's easy to get caught up. Man, that's the one thing that's that was a lesson I kind of learned, because with the YouTube, the social media platform is, I'm a newbie still, because this wasn't my thing. Like Facebook wasn't my thing. Instagram's not my thing. Now I do this, and I do look at X, because I found it's kind of cool, man. You can follow all the fleets and shit on X, because they like the fleet. So the 7th Fleet and shit, they got their own X. So when they're doing stuff, they post stuff. It's kind of cool to watch them doing exercises and shit.
Yeah, that's cool.
So I do X, and so it's a different vibe than out here everyday interaction. And I think it's because and I don't mean this like I ain't like lost, but this is like in a reality world. Not saying that talking to you is not real, but it's just, I guess maybe it changes the persona of people when you kind of you really got to look somebody in the eye. Maybe that's so it changes the tone. It changes the atmosphere of the conversations. But I mean, we have some heated ones up here when we all decide to get together to talk about something because somebody wants to whine and bitch. Yeah. And I've dropped the F-bomb on them a few times myself. Matter of fact, I did it and then laughed and told them I just did it to get that shocked look on your face. But you just, it was, I don't know. Talking with a friend not long ago, and I don't think I realized how scared people were, if that makes any sense. I guess,
Yeah.
and I don't mean that like bad, but it's just, shit's a little warm. I, as we talk, they watch. Oh,
Is your
yeah, I
system
don't sweat the
overheating?
listening. I was actually starting to little overheat. I'm like, damn. And then, matter of fact, I probably put this in the wagon. It's my own little silver bowls.
Oh shit! Nice, nice.
Dude, there was 2 damn German shepherds come running up by this fence the other day, and I'm like, yeah, no, man, that shit ain't happening, dude. Y'all ain't jumping no fence and getting on my kid. These are my kids. They might be 4-legged, and people might be like, just fuck a dog. I don't care, dude. Do you, boo? These are like other kids, so they're living beings on this property that I take care of, and so if there's any scrapping to do, I'll do it first. If they join in, that's one thing, but
Yup. Right.
sending out my dog to do my work.
So KP Heathen.
Welcome back, KP. Did you get how many yards? How many yards? I think he said he had 3 to do.
Right. Right on. Yeah, that's right. He's cutting grass. Yeah.
Got me some liquid IV.
Oh yeah, I had to stock up on that stuff, man. That is good stuff. Good stuff.
Man, yes. You know, I ain't getting all scientific on nobody, but all I'm gonna tell you is from a redneck in the woods point of view, I've drank the shit and I can actually feel it make me feel better. So
Yeah, it
that's
does
all
work.
I know.
It does work.
That's it.
hmm I'll have some of that after I down this coffee here. Yeah, I'm almost
Right.
done with it.
All right,
Yep.
G Nana. Make it a good day, ma'am. Hey, appreciate you stopping by. Keep your head on a swivel. Help somebody smile. It's gonna be all right. I do recommend anybody that to use these next 3 years to definitely get out as much debt as you can.
Yeah. Yep. Yes, sir.
I think we're gonna have a decent economy for a couple of years. That's my just take. Now, what happens after he leaves? Yeah, well, that's why I say I'll focus on getting out of debt. I'm gonna try to get some shit squared away and make it more self sufficient.
Yeah.
That way, you got to rely on powers to be, or because I'm on a co-op, so I don't worry about electricity per se. Because we're a co-op, we're all members. It's different than being a customer.
Right. Yep. I remember the co-ops.
Yep.
Yes, I do.
I lost one of my cats a few months ago. I don't let any of them outside the perimeter since. I've had 8 city patients. Yeah. Hell, man, that used to be the thing in the day, and it wasn't just for the bad guy. We just have more bad guys now. But that was just, I mean, you never know, man, if something's tearing up your damn bike seat or some shit. I mean, you get a damn raccoon or some shit, or you got a deer in your damn garden gnawing away, or you got, hey. That's why we used to go to school with them in our back glass. We had gun racks. That was a selling thing. You'd pull in all kinds of places to buy you a gun rack. Had decent ones, had cheap ones. It was a thing. It was like big lighters. And then all of a sudden, it's like somebody whined or something, and some little weird man seeing like that. Hell, man, at my age, I look back and I can say, you know what? Yeah, when did that go away? I guess I didn't see. It's just a subtle shit. It starts small in one little area and it just starts to become the norm. And then next thing you know,
I
it's just
was
gone.
I remember, I grew up in the hood, so obviously in school there was none of that, right? And there nobody you couldn't have a knife, you couldn't have a gun, whatever. And then I got moved out to a rural area. Everybody had a gun in the rack in the truck. Everybody had a knife. And I was so like excited I could carry a knife at school. And I had the Swiss Army knife, the big one, the really big one. That was my thing. I carried the Swiss Army knife with the little scissors and the tweezers and the little saw. Yeah, I got this thing. There are guys that had like freaking, Bowie knives and shit. I mean, yeah, of course within measure, right? Or you had the buck folder. So I had my own little EDC at school that I was proud of. I had my watch, I had my knife, I had my wallet. I felt like I was, kind of grown up, and it's a responsibility that comes with that. Like, okay, I got tools. That's how we looked at it. It was a tool. I wasn't trying to kill somebody with it. I wasn't trying to do anything with it. Yeah, I might use the screwdriver part to, take apart an AC vent or something to hide something there. But like I said, it was a tool, right?
Yeah. Well, see, around here growing up, it's like, dude, deer season? I mean, hell, there was nothing there leading up into opening day for people to, like, you'd have seniors leaving half day, the sophomores, freshmen, people would be leaving early, and the ones that couldn't leave early, buddy, as soon as the bell rang, everybody was running to their vehicles, their trucks, or they were jumping in with their buddy because you're going to go out to the deer camp. You're going out to the lease. You're going to go get ready for opening day. And once opening day, so I mean, it was hunting, and it's like rabbit season. It was nothing to have a box of 22 shells and your 22 right there in your rack, and you're going, okay, we got to go to class. And, but we get out Friday, and you went
Right.
camping. You just went off into the woods. You went camping. You had a tent and some bullshit in the back of the truck. Everybody knew it. There it was. And somewhere, dude, because you get we just, that free range parenting, we stopped holding anybody accountable. It's like they decided to remove that word. Okay, we've got to get rid of accountability. Okay, that means we need to start adapting all the different little areas. You can't hold somebody responsible. We have to blame it on. And so it's like, oh well, the Second Amendment. Well, let's go after guns. So yeah, well that way they can't take them. And it's like they totally have ruined the whole culture of self
Yeah,
sufficiency.
I
Think about
agree.
it. That was the time we used to actually go hunt. We'd have meat in the freezer. And you had
Yeah,
families, you had friends that would go do that. So even more families. And then, yeah, some of us talk about it and stuff, but look how minimum it is, and and yet now we talk about prepping and it's like, wow, what a shift. We went from Eagle Scouts and Girl Scouts and camping and, gardening, living, hunting and stuff and fishing. And then we just somehow we and then all of a sudden it's called we're prepping for the shit. It's like, well, wait, you mean we haven't been doing this? Like and I'm not making fun of nobody, so I'm not saying this in a negative way, but I'm just for perspective. It's like you got channels that show to start fires, and it's like, wow, that's kind of. I mean, doesn't that feel weird? Like if you go back to whenever you were like little, you know, and when you were
right.
shown it did like, and now we actually there's you know what I'm saying? It's just, and I ain't making fun of nobody. It's just weird whenever I kind of zoom out and I look at where we are. You know, what
Yep.
do you do when the power goes out? I mean, it's like, wait, so is this a new thing? Because like we've been having hurricanes down here my whole life. Shit's always gone in and out sometimes. I mean,
Well, I mean,
and so
convenience makes us weak. Convenience and everything. Age of information. Everybody's just like, just so happy in their little pod, right? They can make a phone call and get food. They can go through a drive-through, get their cigarettes and their lighters. They push a button for AC and heating, right? There's no need. There's no need for any of that. So we got away from that, and that was to push the norm anyway, right? So I kind of like say, it's you know that whole industrial revolution, that technical revolution as well here.
yep,
Yeah, it makes life easier, but we forget, and I guess a lot of people getting back to that, and calling it prepping, like, hey, we need to prep. Well, yeah, my family called it, hey, we're going to can. We're going to can the garden, right? You know, or we're going to go hunting. I
Well, yeah, you
remember
want
as
to
a kid, you know, as a kid, I was so excited, like, hey, get us a fire started. I'm a kid. I'm like, oh, yay, I get to make fire, you know? And the whole time that we're camping or whatever, I'm like, that's my fire, right? You know?
right.
And it's, you know, I got to use the lighter, I got to pour the gasoline or whatever the case may be, however I started the fire. You know, and then later on you get bonfires, you know, I mean, that's even better. You know, I mean, it just carried on forward. You know, in school, that was a cool thing. You know, everybody like just, hey, hey, Farmer Joe, can we have a bonfire on your little side acreage there? Yeah, it's cool. I mowed the alfalfa. You know, it's already gathered up. There's nothing out there y'all can burn. Just get in the middle of the field and park your trucks and, you know, have
Yep.
fun. You know, and have your bonfire. Here's some pallets. I
Yeah.
got like 20 pallets I got to get rid of. You use that old pile of wood over there. I've been trying to get rid of that shit for fucking a year. Burn that up.
Right. We have the rice
Um,
fields down here. Rice fields and sometimes the hay fields, but mainly the rice fields.
oh wow.
Man, you can go mud hogging in them.
Oh
You
yes,
go
yes.
they, you know, because after they harvest back then, you know, they didn't care. You know, you go, you're going to destroy the rows and shit, whatever. You know, go have fun. Man, I remember whenever I went and got my big old gumbo mutters on the back of my old 7-color Ford and with glass packs, dude. That was the shit. It's like the best time ever. Had an 8-track. I'd put in that Pink Bad Company 8-track tape, and buddy, we would hit that rice fields and go to cutting all kinds of donuts, spinning rooster tails, and it
Oh
was
yeah.
just the shit. You know, had a 4 6x9s on the back seat right here at the back window. You know, the good old classic setup like that, and be jamming.
Yep. Yep. Just having fun. Just having fun.
That's it.
And everybody know you. Everybody's. You know. You might have the owner show up. You know, sit down with his coveralls and his Schaefer's beer, and you know, start talking. You know, drinking. You know, all his kids just like, wow, this is cool, man. You know,
Well, yeah, you
or
just, you know, but see,
fishing
and
on
then
the
the
lake,
kids were respectful too. So, like, you didn't tear shit up. And like Savage said, you don't leave your trash.
right?
So, you know, you go have fun. It's like we swam the canal. We used to shoot the canal, but you didn't leave all your shit. You
Yep.
made your little pile and you did all your little thing. And whenever you got ready to leave, and there's the last person leaving, you grab that shit and you put that in the bed of your truck or in the back seat floorboard or whatever and
Yep. Burn it.
throw it out
You
at the
know.
gas station. Yep.
Yep. Pack your trash. The fun we used to have, man. Fun we used to have.
See, and I think about those days, and this kind of might sound weird to some, it do whatever. But I look at Little Man, and that's all I wonder, like, what is that like? Because I never really stopped to think about that with my son. You know, I mean, hell, you're a parent. Here's a responsibility. Figure it out, and it's 24/7, 365. So,
Yeah. Right.
but with him, I now have the ability to kind of just do the third person perspective and
Yeah.
look at the outside and then him and his facial expressions, the way he interacts with stuff, and it lays a different groundwork for me. It really does. Because all of a sudden you start to see the representation of other people, and you can kind of do the well, fuck them, I don't care. But man, if you don't help change society around you, that's like me. I feel like if I don't that I'm trying to be more friendly to people around here. I think actually some might have actually gone in shock, and I don't know, maybe some 911 calls even happened because of it. But it freaks them out because I'm being nice. But I'm just trying to get along, and because especially when he's around, and then that's what got me thinking. It's like, yeah, but isn't that kind of chicken shit if you only do it when he's around? And it's like, well, yeah, then I guess that's kind of faking it, and that's the kind of shit that I wouldn't respect somebody else faking it like that. So then it really puts it, and I just share that with you guys because, well, I happen to have a channel that broadcasts to 8 billion people on the internet, or at least on the planet, and whoever the hell comes by and listens.
Yeah.
See, that
Sorry,
is,
I just
man, I remember back in the days. It's like you didn't even have to be in Boy Scouts or Cub Scouts or anything. I mean, that was the thing back then. But it's like everybody kind of picked up on like that little handbook and, tying the two strings between trees and draping your little canvas tarp because there were canvas tarps back then. Over there, and you make your little pup tent. I mean, that was like it wasn't shock at all. To
right.
tie your little hammock between trees. And so this was just, and you went and camped. Dude, that was like, matter of fact, the loopy, what y'all just heard about down here with the massive flooding. Dude, I can't tell you how much that was growing up. That's what you did during the summer around here. You either went down around Corpus or Galveston, Crystal Beach, and that whole little coastline to go do the saltwater thing, or you went and shot the loopy. And for like me, most of the time, we drove down to shoot the loopy. And what you do is that you would park, find you a spot, and a lot of times they would even have these little, strip mall looking little motel strips, and it was a glorified a room with, a bathroom, a sink, and if you wanted a bed, you could get one with the mattress. But most people got open floors because there's fixing to be like 6 or 7 people up in this room. But all you do is go park there and put your shit in there, and then you would go get your tube and your cooler and shit, and you get on the bus, and you commence to driving for a couple hours on up river, and then you get out and you get in. Well, you just you float in your tube all day, man, pulling your cooler with you, shooting the shit, waving everybody there on the bank, going, "Hey, what's up?" People are like, that was a thing. So camping, just like, hey, let's hit the bank and we're going to camp here tonight, was like no big deal at all. Hell, whenever back in the beginning of the Texas Renaissance Festival, dude, that's all we used to do back then. We'd be in our little. I was a wizard back then because you would do the what is that? Society for Creative Anachronism. The SCA, Society for Creative Anachronism. That's kind of where the starting of the Renaissance Festival shit came from, and it was to go do the role playing thing.
Yeah.
You'd have the knights out there with the wicker swords doing it, and then at night, whenever people would leave, well, then we would all just light our bonfire, and then we would just sit around back there and get totally wasted and laugh and joke. And, some people might even still be in character with their, the Lord talk or some shit, and they'd be like, oh, whatever. And dude, mead's a mofo. I'm going to tell you right now, if somebody ever wanted to win me over, I'll just show up and show me, how to make mead, and we're probably fixing to be the best friends. I'll probably even increase my tolerances and boundaries to just be able to go, you know what? Is it really so? Let them be damn. They make good mead. It's like,
right. Yeah. Oh yeah, I love mead. I love me some mead. Yeah, I've talked about it before. Because I love, of course, Vikings and all that shit, and knights in shining armor. And so I went to a festival. It was in North Carolina, a medieval festival. And yeah, you can pay, you can join the fight, you can put on like some protective gear, not really like armor or whatever, but it's protective gear and get out there and fight. Boom, boom, boom. And I their kind of fighting was like HEMA, like fencing theory, right?
Yeah.
And I was Bushido. I was straight up, let's go, Japanese style, katana style, and just come at you. I won a lot of fights without even hitting anybody. They would just fall down, because of my charge. I would just charge forward and boom, try to hit him in the head. That was my whole strategy. I'm not going to sit there and fence with you and push your sword out of the way. Boom, right? There's some finesse to that, and I later on learned that shit. But just a direct attack, and so I knocked somebody. Somebody fell down, and because of my attack, and I got on top of them and said yield, da da da. Right? They yielded, and then the town insulter, the guy that has all the medieval vernacular, just started just berating me and insulting me. A crowd, got around it. He's just insulting me in this medieval vernacular. And I'm like, who the hell is that? I'm about to get you, bro. Let's go. Come on, let's get in the ring.
Get in the ring, mofo. Get in the ring. Dude, think about that too. That was back, man. And I hate to put it that way, but it is. Dude, we were real men back then. Think about that. Dude, it's like some of the jousting and the wicker fighting that was done back in the beginning of the Renaissance, dude. And then you kind of, dude, most of that was picked up from like the old Hollywood westerns, where them dudes would have like cloth wrapped around them, creating like a puffed up absorb, and then you just,
Right.
but you still had to take the lick, dude. So you're
Oh
still
yeah.
gonna fall off that horse. You fixing to roll. Well, you fixing to take this whack in the side with the wicker sword, but you sucked it
Yeah.
up because that absorbed it. But it's like the mentality was, I mean, I know it's gonna hurt, but here it's gonna make it less hurt. That's okay. Now it's like, oh no, ooh, and it's like, wait, what? No, what happened to that big gray buffer that used to be there? Where we had some tough people. It's like,
It's still there. I follow some. There's one I want to go to called Ragnarok, and literally it's thousands of people on one end of the field, thousands of people on the other end of the field, and they just charge in and just beat the hell out of each other with these
is it a
big
side to
huge
side or it's a
sticks.
free for all?
It's a side by. It's a this blue team, red team, whatever.
Gotcha.
You've got different clans that have to, they hey, join my clan, you get this, whatever, or
Oh yeah,
hey, I pay to do that, whatever. So there's a bunch of that going on. But
I
the
was
big
part of the
one is
Raven Fort.
the what?
Raven Fort. That was ours back then.
The
Raven
Raven
Fort.
Fort. Yeah, everybody's got their flags, their symbol,
Yeah.
right?
That's it.
Yeah. And there's referees and people get messed up. There's like broken, like you were talking about, who was in chat, broken fingers. You get hit so hard that your helmet flies off and there's blood coming down your face, but everybody just like hurrah, loving it. You even get some women out there. You're like, wow, look at you, brave little girl, swinging a sword. They got big
Hey,
spears.
I don't mean to
It's like,
interrupt you, Shad, but I got to
yep.
say it. This one really perked me up. I don't. So Wayne says I made my house jump a 5 foot fence, and I must say that kind of really struck me. Matter of fact, here, I think if I hit this, I can bring it up because that just really
See it. They made my house jump a 5 foot fence.
there.
How did you do that?
I made my house jump a 5 foot fence.
What?
So did you blow your house up?
Oh,
Is that what we're talking here?
Horse. He made his horse jump a 5 foot fence.
Oh. Well, is that even horse? That's not even horse. That's a horse.
It's he can't spell, but yeah, I'm translating. It's
Now, damn it, Wayne, we had spelling lessons yesterday for Cherokee. Do we got to repeat this again today? Y'all know I'm picking.
Right. I think he meant horse. Yeah, made his horse jump a 5 foot fence. I mean, that's cool. Yeah, but we're all still wondering how you got your house to jump that high.
Yeah, that's still impressive. So, Yahoo.
Oh wow! Look at that.
That's rabbits.
That's nice. I like that. It looks like you got a bone handle on it.
Wayne knows I'm just picking with him
Horse house.
because I'm trying to lecture me. And of all people sitting here telling me to be nice, kiss off. I'm sorry. Can you even define what that means? See, I don't think you can even. So how can you judge me if I'm being nice or not? I don't even think you understand what that means. So now. Spelled chick is not great.
Good job. Piss off down the door.
I was to the basement. Found the table and 4 chairs. Okay. So what do you kiss off? So are you like, I don't know. Do you not have power? Do you just not turning the light on? Or are we just in like, hey, wow, check it out. I can discover some shit. What's going on now? Damn it. Where's Chuck? Is he okay? What have you done now? Cherokee, 4 pounds TNT, house jump, 5-foot pin, right?
That'll work. Yeah.
Oh, look at there,
How would you
Rabbit.
keep it attack?
Rabbit says, also have a knife for you, Shad, one of these days when I get to meet you.
Who? You do?
You. Rabbit said that to you.
Oh, Rabbit. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Rabbit. Yeah, I love knives. Love my knives. It's a bit sharp too. Okay, I'm looking at this. Well, thank you, Rabbit. I hope I have something to give you in return. Yeah.
Wayne's World. Wayne's World. I don't know why I couldn't help but think of that as I'm reading through this Wayne stuff. It just kind of come to my head going, Wayne's World. Wayne's World.
Excellent. Woo, woo, woo. Yes, sir. Hunterville, North Carolina. No power for 5 hours. Wow.
Damn it. Do y'all got a storm going through there, Cherokee? I mean, is that what knocked it out? That's where we powwow. Is it a powwow or a oh wow? Or is it an oh wow powwow?
Well, if I know Cherokee, he's doing okay. No power. He's fine.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought about that the other day. There's a part of me that wants to start allocating time and start sitting in there and going through the net and trying to, because it's like stories about North Carolina, man. You don't hear nobody say nothing about it. If any of the towns coming back, or anything's happening.
Yeah,
And
right.
I'd like to know it's what the response is now. Got homeboy in there. Okay, well, let's see. I mean, they did good with down here. They were Johnny on the spot down here.
Yeah.
So I wonder what's happening up there.
Yeah. How's the rebuilding? We heard about the California fires. I mean, it's basically Mr. Gruesome Newsom is saying, well, you can't rebuild there. We're gonna put in a parking lot. We're gonna take your land now. We're gonna deny you entry into your own land, own property, and allow you to rebuild, and we're going to take it because it's now too dangerous for you to have a property there. Really? You're going to deny me my land that I worked hard and hard to own and pay taxes on, and you're just going to take it over just because there was a fire there and destroyed everything because of their mismanagement? I mean,
see, this is where the collective needs to come in, Shad. That's the collectiveness. That's where that unified voice. And if you get people, but see, that's the problem with being so fractured. That's why I think they did it intentionally, so you can't rally. Because if you could get 30 million people to all of a sudden answer the call of, hey, something needs to be done, this needs to be addressed, then you would have other states chiming in. You would have the feds coming in, but you don't ever get the mass numbers. You get the little blotches of stuff. It's like with this whole Epstein shit. I think it's the same. I think, okay, now that that's come out, nobody likes the sound of it. Collectively get together and you got a unified voice that says, no, this is not acceptable. I think homeboy would actually answer that. Because he's got a legacy. That's the one thing that I've kind of really here lately. It's kind of been really hitting home with me is he's not a typical politician. Typical politicians are just doing their thing. That's their career, their little lives. That dude was a legacy that then got involved that still has that legacy running in the back. Mm-hmm. So he had that whole family legacy thing going before he stepped into that arena. So I think that's what makes the mindset different. And that's why I don't think he'll do things to intentionally bring the country down because that's his granddaughter. You know, hell, he brags about her and she's into golf. So you think of just it as a dad perspective, and you get to you get to drive the boat, and you're pulling your kids in that boat too. Now, are you going to pull it crazy, or are you going to pull it like you're going to recognize your kids are in that boat too? Your grandkids are in that boat because they are. You know,
Yeah.
their whole life bases off of the legacy he's built. Well, if he were to trash that, then all of a sudden, bam, you know. So I think, but we need a unified. We need. That's why I just encourage people to slow down. You know, slow down on what you take in. I'm not saying don't get mad about shit. I'm just, but you got to watch taking that in all the time because it keeps you off target. Half-assed, ready. Rescue is there. Oh, heaven in North Carolina. He does a Ponca 0 hour. Oh, I think I saw a thumbnail of that, or they were talking about that, and I went and found it. And I thought I might have been subscribed, but
Yeah, I know. I met
is that
half-ass radio. Yeah, old Marine. Hoorah! Smoke cigars with him. Very nice. He's doing good. He's
hell
in
yeah?
North Carolina, but he's not. He's not affected by all that. And yeah. They do a podcast, 0 hour. Him, half-ass, JD prepping, Rule 2IC. Yeah, check it out. They got their own little. And they got some merch too. They got merch. Yeah.
Merch. Oh, that's right. I remember. Who was it? Somebody showed the coffee cup thing off.
Yep.
I was on. Was that on yours? I was on yours.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it was. Yeah. Yeah. They were showing off their merch. So yeah, they got a cool little thing going.
What is rescue? Well, you know D Trump for his legend equals he the one to kick off bracket talking statue and the mark of man of Revelation. This thing. Oh, man, dude, I'm. You know what my intake on Revelation is? Bad shit's gonna happen. I was told nobody's gonna know when, and that's all I needed to know. So I just now commence every day. I just wait. If I wake up, I just try to make it a good day, and I try to do the right thing.
Yep.
Try to be a good person, and I've got my belief, and so I don't know where that lands. We'll find. I won't be able to come back and tell you, but if I could, I would.
Right. I mean, if anything, it's total motivation to live a good life and get prepared, and stay at a sense of a constant state of readiness. Whatever that case may be.
Well, see, and it's like that, and I don't know if I find, sometimes things come in my head, Shad, and I find it nowadays. I used to just kind of blurt shit out, but I realized that, oh man, this can kind of, people get butthurt because people will listen to you, and man, all of a sudden you think, man, they think you're talking directly to them. And it's like, I know, I didn't even know that was like your verbal. This is just shit in my head. But see, it's like that. I mean, and I get it because I do have a more crazier background, as far as the prison, been criminal. But I mean, when did people get so lax that you're literally amongst 100, 200, 300, 1,000, and 10,000 people in like New York City shit, and you just lock in on this phone? Like, really? When I leave my yard, I'm not like paranoid, but I'm always observant of my surroundings, but
Right.
and it's not just the criminal side of things. Hell, driving, I'm a defensive driver. I'm not an offensive driver. I'm a defensive driver. So I'm waiting. I'm observing as I'm driving. Now I might be doing 75, but I'm observing everything and that's in my peripherals and around me. And okay, but and so it's like sometimes it's weird, and maybe that's what's gotten me in so deep of trouble. Sometimes is because sometimes that's like wait, what? So like this is something you got to be reminded to be careful. I mean, I get it. These videos at these gas stations and the shit that happens, it's like, oh my god. But then, see, like I said, I'm noticing the people in the background. Why didn't anybody give a shit?
Yeah.
Nobody gives a
Take
shit.
responsibility for your actions. Take your own security in the mind. Take care of your own shit. Right.
And I will say, man, if I literally had to like worry, like legit 100% stuff, like, okay, hey, I'm going to work, and I had to kind of go, shit, man, is she gonna get carjacked or is the bank gonna get robbed? Dude, see, I don't, it's, and I'm not knocking anybody, so nobody needs to address this to their shit. Hell, I don't know if you're in that environment or not. So there you go. But I just must see, I couldn't think about that, dude. I couldn't live that world. There would be a change, either a relocation, like if there was no way to get, like,
Right.
like I couldn't live in Chicago. I can't live in Houston, dude. It's right down. No way. I ain't living in Humble. What around here would be considered, oh, well, that's on the outskirts. I don't give a shit, dude. That's too close. Hell, this is starting to feel like I'm like, God dang, man, do I got to move? Because now I got, with all the flooding and all the shit that goes on down there, they all want to run up here and then make this like down there. And it's like, no, your spot sucked. And so let's not make this one suck.
Right. They bring the problems with them.
Yeah. So, you just kind of, matter of fact, that right over there with that Colonial Ridge, dude, I must say it, dude, if I lived in that town right there in that county where that shit just kind of blew up and went off, we'd be gone. We wouldn't have been there. You wouldn't have finished clearing and developing that land before we would have been gone. Once that became known of what's fixing to happen, and you're fixing to have that many acres, 30,000 mofos, you're going to have housing. And it's like, no, you got to go.
Yeah.
Just because, I mean, it is what it is. Society is what it is. And plus, then again, this is I'm kind of an antisocial dude. I mean, I like talking with people. I really do. Unfortunately, I just, my shit just doesn't get taken well. And I don't know if it's because I don't say right, or I try different ways of talking. Nobody ever tells me what the problem is. It just, bam. It's like, well, that must not have worked out. Okay. move on. So I don't know, man. But it's just, where did we go so wrong? Like, how do we get so disconnected from just like kids? Like, when did that get on the table? Like, when did the variations, trans kids, the trafficking of the kids, the missing kids, the parading kids in these child pageant bullshit? When did this like, oh, man? See, I'm one of those people that I kicked Netflix to the curb when that, what was it, Cuties or some shit that came out.
Yep, I remember.
Matter of fact, I've had people tell me going, "Oh, it's on Netflix." Dude, I don't do Netflix. I've never done Netflix ever since the day they did that. I said, "Nope, they ain't just do it."
Yeah,
and so you just kind of, man,
it's part of that social engineering, and make it commonplace, make the parade of debauchery, they call it.
Yeah.
Yeah, hills have eyes next door.
It's turned out to be a pretty day. I thought it was going to rain. And I was like, well, I'm waiting, but it's kind of dispersed. That's usually what happens around here, dude. I make jokes because I get these little alerts. Hey, what's up? No one home. Sorry, I meant to say hi a while ago whenever I saw you come in. And
no one home. I'm in constant search for a creek, and I found a creek.
Right.
Found another creek. But I'm pretty far away. Oh, you got a visitor behind you.
Oh yeah, she heard that mower going off over there. She's a spastic dog, dude. If I go get on the mower, she stands at the front of it. She looks at me and she starts yapping, barking. And I'm like, really? What is the issue, man? I tried to get her to get up there. She'll sit there for a minute. Then she jumps down, turns around, and looks at me and just barks. And I'm like, that's it. Get on the porch. And so then she'll go up there and lay down while I mow.
Lawnmowers and vacuums, they set dogs off, huh?
I used to have a pit whenever I first met her. Dixie, she was so funny, dude. I would have my SPCA, my mask on up here. She could be loving on me, everything, dude. I could reach up there and just grab the tip and start bringing it down. And the minute it cleared my face, dude, she'd back up and the ears would flatten and she'd curl her lip. She did not like that. Yep. Weed eating. She did not like weed eaters. She would run up and grab a weed eater. She would stall a weed eater out. She would grab the head of that weed eater. She'd stall it right out.
Oh man.
I ran over her head before with a lawnmower because she ran up and grabbed onto the front tire, and I rolled right over her before I could
Oh,
catch
God.
what happened. But she was
Ouch.
okay. She got up. I couldn't burn anything, dude. Like a pile of limbs and stuff, go light it on fire. If I had to chain her up, because if I didn't, she would jump in. She would start grabbing things out of that fire and slinging them apart.
Oh damn.
Yeah. And it's like, no, I want it to burn. I'm not trying to put it out. Yeah, she was a trip, dude. Whenever I first met the missus, she'd come over to visit, and we'd be sitting on the couch watching a movie, a good old VHS tape, one of those good old fashioned things. and
Yeah. Oh man.
Dixie would come up and get in between us, and then climb up on that couch, and then turn and sit and put her ass towards her, and then lean over against me. And sometimes she'd cut a little wind, and I used to poke at her, going, "Damn, now that's a little to get shit on."
Yeah, right.
488 steps away from the Lake of the Ozarks. Oh man, maybe. Uh-oh. So Teresa says, Cherokee, probably YouTube being stupid, or maybe you have me blocked by accident. What's the matter now? Oh, Cherokee said, you not on YouTube at all. Chat room, Vision, Hudson, Tribe, Angry, so on. Wait, what? So what are you talking about? All right, Cherokee. My decipher thing, I don't even know where it's at anymore. And I'll throw in the towel.
My advice to you, Cherokee, is to kick your Wi-Fi. Just kick it. Kick your Wi-Fi without it. Let's see what happens.
I think, you know what? I wonder sometimes if I think, do you do the text to speak, the speech to text, Cherokee? Is that what, do you do speech to text, or do you just talk into it and because that could be it.
Oh yeah, that's true.
It's that phone translator trying to break down the Cherokee language code, and that can be a tough challenge.
All right, going for my liquid IV now.
Oh, there you go. Get that boost.
Strawberry lemonade.
Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah, I started to bring me out a strawberry one, but I was like, nah, I'll save this for when I go in. I'll take the lemonade one with me. Rescue Cherokee has been having issues seeing a lot of different people in chat. I've had the same issue with a few people sometimes, but then later I see them on a different channel. I think it's YouTube. Oh, yeah, it could be. They get to jacking with code to do one thing, and it's kind of like every other software shit. They go to fix one thing, and most of the time they create another one. Hey, we fixed these 6 things. This is the latest update. Oh, wow, cool. That's awesome. Oh, yeah. 6 updates. And then somewhere in there, 3 things went wrong. And it's like, well, shit. Well, I guess we kind of moved forward. Remember, that would make me not see him, not the way he is. So, Cherokee, but you see chat, right, Cherokee? You just don't see Teresa in chat? And see, and then he'll take, who knows when he answers Skull. He might answer me in 10 minutes.
She on people screen, not YouTube chat room. People screen?
There he is.
The people screen. Okay. What's the people screen?
No, she on people screen. So you see her on the chat on the main window because of the chat overlay, but you don't see her in the actual chat, YouTube chat.
Oh no. Are you on your phone?
Actually, I
or
didn't
your
think
computer?
about that. Correct, Rescue, and he can see your video screen to see me, but not in chat. Well, then, see, hey, we circumvent the problem because then here you'll be able to see her chat. I started to turn that off a while ago because it was kind of going right over the top of Shad's face, and I thought, well, I don't want him to feel like he's being treaded on.
Turn it back on and take it so you can read it.
Other people's screen scrolling, and then yes, and then introducing 2.0, 2.1 soon following. Right, there's always an update to the update to the update to the update, and that's with all kinds of software, games, whatever. But if you ever notice, there's and they show it to you, so it's not like it's hidden, but it'll be like update 1, then update .1, update .2, update .3, update .4, update, and it's like, wait, and that's the update for the update for the update. The main window is just that all personal most do not affect. Yeah, no, that's one thing I guess with that chat. That's probably why some people are quiet. Because one thing about showing the chat on the screen, then all the block stuff, just if you got somebody blocked, you'll still see their chat. And they'll see yours. But if it's any consolation, man, I just ain't doing no disrespect shit, so don't bring it here is all I can say. Don't throw pebbles in my little pool of tranquility. I can't figure out how to operate the internet. It's self-driving now. Comes pre-installed on all the devices.
Right.
Hell, flipping air conditioners, Wi-Fi. What? Oh yeah, you can control that. Thermostats, the humidifiers, fans, dude. These little grow setup thing is now can be fully done off of your phone remotely. You just everything in there. You know, water by remote and shit. And I'm like, this sounds cool. It sounds handy, but it just see this is these little things that people jump into, but you don't realize what all you're giving up. That's
Yeah.
Everybody know your business because I'm not a Wi-Fi fan. Even though I've been in there, I hooked it up for people, I serviced it, and that's why. Dude, I remember back in the beginning when they first came out with, remember the old 900 megahertz phones? Just a regular house phone.
Oh yeah.
You would get that. Dude, you could go drive around and you could just pick up all kinds of shit.
Yep.
And that's the airwaves. And see, that's like all I knew I had to know with that. That's okay. I'll stay away. And then I just listen to the airwaves just for listening to radio stations. Everything else needs to be hardlined. It's like,
yeah, because if I can hear them, they can hear me.
that's it, man. Hey, later, Rabbit. Make it a good day, buddy. Get you something done. Rescue asked Mad Shad how to say skull. I already did that. Where are you? Go watch yesterday. We've been there and done that.
Oh, that's how you say it. It's like put a long A and a W in there. Skull. And a hard L. Right? Skull. And you say skull. However you want to say it.
That's that there skull, man. Skull. Skull.
Yep.
See, the professor educated me yesterday, and I passed my exam. He said so.
Yes, indeed. You got it. You nailed it. And I'm American, so I'm probably saying it wrong too. There's probably some Danish or some Norwegian, some Swedish going, this idiot.
Yeah.
Stupid American. don't know how to say it. Go.
Right. Yeah, because you got, man, I will say, you know, that's what kind of trips me out, the adaptation, because that's kind of watching the way that they do information. It just kind of makes you then question some things. You know, it's I started this a long time ago because the dinosaurs used to really crack me up. It's like, so you find a bone, and somehow you now understand the whole lifestyle and family workings and herd mentality of this species. Yeah, okay, sure, buddy. You can't even figure out what's happening right in front of you. And so
Yeah.
the dinosaurs have always cracked me up. But then I got to thinking about, you know, like the Aztec Mayan shit, you know, all the National Geographics, dude, for decade plus with all this. Oh, here's the thing. Here's the story. And then all of a sudden, LiDAR comes on the scene and they go, oh, shit. It's not just this pyramid. Look at this shit. This was a damn city of like 1 million plus people. Oh, shit. And it's like, yeah. So see how much. And then you kind of wonder, it's like with the Vikings or any of the other names, you know, the Spaniards. And you kind of go, yeah, I wonder how that really went down back then, you know?
Yeah.
Like, because you know there is a time frame where we have better written documentation that you can kind of combine. It's not just what like it's like with Jesus. Okay, our Bible says that, yes. So a New Testament Christian Bible says that there was Jesus, Son of God, but they've also now show other documentation in other aspects of society that reference that very same thing, and so all of a sudden that brings a different. But there comes a time frame when you just kind of go, you know, I think from here on, it's all pretty much made up shit, dude. You're just kind of whatever you thought sounded kind of handy.
It's that kind of investigative guessing and make an educated guess. And it evolves. More information comes out, changes everything, you know, changes or gives you the big picture, like, oh, okay, there's more to this. You know,
like a Viking thing, you know, they find a Viking boat. And so then they'll say, oh, look, the Vikings were coming here. Well, I don't know, man. Was it really the Vikings? Did they get shipjacked out there off the coast by, you know, some other body else? And so, yeah, what the building references, you know, Vikings, but was it Vikings? I don't know. And I don't know. I guess I never looked at it just because you know, once again, it's some of that shit you're growing up and you just trust people that were educated. You know, and it's like, okay, well, you've studied and researched this, so surely. But now you kind of look at the way people talk and you go, I don't know, man. Was this really just your personal spin? Was it like what sounded good to you? Like, hey, I found this, but oh well. And so then you tell the story.
Yep.
I do wish that we would just share shit. Like, hey, check it out. This is the shots from this location. We were digging. We found this, and this is what's in, you know, whatever, a 300-yard, 500-yard radius. Here's vegetation and stuff. And then you do with it what you want. You kind of, dude, I bet you we would picture things in a whole different way. It would bring back migration. You would actually see like the Oregon Trail shit, dude, the path of travel. The way people moved around. If we just shared just the basics, discovery stuff at the raw knowledge. None of the storyline behind it.
You have to go to other places to find that, right? They kind of, it's not like common knowledge, right? It's not on your CNN news. It's not in your news feed. You have to go look for it, you know, like Stonehenge or the Egyptian pyramids, right? You know, this whole megalith structure underneath. Like, wow, really? You know, and you know, people like to speculate, and that helps, right? It does help to kind of, you know, speculate.
Fires up the imagination.
Yeah. You know, and then you dig into it and you get more people that go, hey, here's a different take on it. Maybe it's this, right? You know, maybe it's just this or whatever. And you find out and people start finding out. And then there's correlating evidence that comes out that supports that thesis, you know, that theory. Yeah. You're like, oh,
that's okay. How you discover the facts.
Exactly.
You discover them. You know, you gather the stuff and you start combining it, and it's like, oh, well, these are the facts. So then you start following the actual trail, and then it's like, oh, and that's where, man, see, I think that's where we were at in the beginning. You know, I don't think it's always been just, I think that as people get popular, man. Matter of fact, I heard, who was that deer? And I think that was that Turning Point USA thing, and somebody, oh, it was that Megan Kelly was answering Tuck, about politicians getting into Washington. She said, what does it? Because they were talking about Pam Bondi and how this shit's gone so south. And she said how, I like Pam Bondi, but I watched it happen whenever I was, in the cable news. People start getting some attention, and the starry lights just start to get them. And then and I kind of got to thinking, I think that applies to everything nowadays. Now that we've entered into the digital platform.
Oh yeah.
It's that starry moment. You can become the next viral thing.
Oh
And
yes.
That's shifted the fact finding. Now we don't really fact find. A lot of a glory finding. What's the hot topic find?
Yeah. Or what's your take on this? And it's my opinion, it's my educated guess, but everybody takes it as a fact. Like, no,
There
this
you
is
go.
just what I think. This is how I feel about it, right? I don't
That's
know
an
much,
opinion.
but then people are like, well, I know everything about it. I've done all the research. I've seen all the videos, right? I've heard all the commentary. Well, have you actually went to the source? And you go to the source and it's just bare bones. They don't say anything about aliens or ancient reptilian races or anything of that nature. It's just, yeah, these people built this shit. We don't know what the fuck it is.
What?
Approximately
Well,
about this time.
well, see, and I think some of that is a clash of like what we were just talking about, though, is see, because there was a narrative, there was a story. We've had this. This is the way we've come to be, and I think there, personally, being the faith that I have, and with the Bible stories and that's what's said. I think it has to do with some of that because you can see it, and to me, I can see us having high technology and stuff. We people were because you hear these references, but it's been shown to us that this is what it was like. See, think about that. So it's like the Tower of Babel. It's talked about, but it's visually described by whoever's pointing the camera, pretty much whoever writes the script.
Yeah.
So I think that's been said. How do we know that there wasn't more technology? Because that was part of the whole fallen angels coming down and knocking boots and creating demigods. And so of course you're going to have, flamboyant. So, but it's almost like they don't want to admit that, because see, they've already created this narrative. This narrative says this. So they just had to be ancient people that were wearing cloth and pushing mule carts, man. Come on. It's kind of like building the pyramids. It's like, well, maybe if that's the only image you can come up with, then maybe so. But if I can see where, I don't know, maybe they were very smart in leverage and counterweights and angles, the whole geometry stuff. Maybe that was where they clicked, and maybe that was, we've built things as man over here, structures that used to be revered as, wonders of the world. Why? Because people just couldn't believe that, Americans built that. Well, we did. So you kind of go, well, I don't know, man. What if you got demigods? You got intelligence that were specializing in this. They were teaching, bringing the math and everything onto the scene because the book kind of talks about that. We're being exposed to metalworking and, the metalsmithing and then the science stuff. All this is coming to be. I don't know.
Yep.
But I love that's why I love watching some, and then some I have to turn off because it's like, it went from, hey, here's what we found to, well, this is the story, and then look along the way, look and see, and we found this to prove that, and then it goes on, and it's like, well, wait a minute, hold on, where does all that fit into what you found? And to me, I guess that's where I'm a dick because, man, I don't question anything that I say. I don't care. Now, just don't be surprised. I just like, well, okay, but can we get factual? I would just tell me a source, like where did, okay. It's like flat earth, dude. I'm cool. Have you made many flats? You have. And so you didn't notice the curve? No. And you know, it's like, okay, let's have a discussion. So have you been offshore? Yeah, I've been offshore. And so you stood on a helipad out there and you didn't notice a curve. Nope. Okay, well now you might actually have me guessing what I saw. But see, you don't run into that. You
I've
just
been
get
on. Yeah, I found out that the Earth is not flat because I've been around the world.
right.
I mean, so
But
I
did you
know.
really, Chad? Did you fly around it or just around the circle?
I flew around it. I was on a ship that went around it. I walked around it. So yeah, I went to the horizon and it just kept going. You know, it's like
Just kept
okay,
going and
just
going.
kept going. I didn't find no enclosure wall. I found no cliff that went off into the outer space. I just kept it
No
just kept going.
asphalt.
Yeah, and eventually I came back to where I started. I'm like, well, shit, this got to be warm. It's got to be round.
So we ain't got to worry about the blue-eyed undead people coming for us, huh?
We like, oh yeah, right, yeah. The winter is coming. Maybe I don't know. I can't speak on that.
We can't verify that one.
I can't verify that one. Yeah, I can neither confirm nor deny that one.
Yeah, there's no telling what kind of experiments have gone down, dude. And see, and it's like that. I don't always, maybe I get the older stuff, you know, the conspiracies, because that was government controlled, dude. I see so much now as, dude. I think most of what you see now isn't government shit. It's outsourced. It's they've outsourced all that shit too, just like everything around you's been outsourced. So that's and so all of a sudden it's not just like a rare Elon. There's multimillionaires that are doing some crazy. That Jetson One dude. If anybody knows what I'm talking about with the Jetson One project, or you can look that up on YouTube, man. That dude, it's it's a air vehicle. I don't know what the hell you guess you call it. You're kind of like flying a drone. I mean, you are the drone in a way because it's like a car, and it's got four props to it. But he takes that thing off right at his driveway, and now it does. They do a course with another one. And it can come around and it flies and it lands. So I mean, it's like an air car. Well,
And
that ain't no government. That's no black ops kind of operation. That's just that dude
guy
right
in the
there
garage.
wanting to come up with something and hey, let's invent this. I mean, dude, some of these racing drones for these races that come up,
Yep,
that shit's all being done right there in garages, dude. This is like
yep,
the old hot rod days, only it's with drones.
yep, yep. I've seen
Yeah.
that. Yeah. There's people. There's I mean, colleges and you know that have these labs are like, hey, let's do this. Okay,
Oh,
well we need
robotics.
yeah, we need some
Yeah.
backing. We need money. So let's call this guy. Let's call this guy. Let's call a whole bunch of people and see if we can get this funded. And they just make it. They just make this shit. And people that are just like, hey, I'm gonna go in my garage and build a rocket and launch that bitch. I mean, there was that guy in somewhere in the British Isles or something. He built a freaking rocket in his garage. you know,
Yeah. Well, I
so
think that there's a wave of discovery, inventiveness. It's just that it's where we were stagnant for a while. Hey, Miss Lisa. Uh, Now I think that's the one thing with the whole AI and the robotics and all this. This is our next wave. Good, bad, or ugly.
yeah,
This is the next industrial 2.0 age. The tech age, however you want to phrase it. But and so okay. Knowing that going into this, then we see where the industrial age got us, as the ones that we've grown up from the, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. We've seen, we're sitting here having these conversations on the internet now,
right.
so why not then acknowledge that? And then that's what then starts to promote some groundwork in what the next wave, the tech wave that's coming. Because if you don't get solid people that have a moral compass at the driver's seat of the AI and the robotics, then that's where you end up with even more batshit crazy. Kind of like when they sat around with the internet and they took the Department of Defense shit and they said, hey, man, that's some old ass shit. If you want to try to use that on your bulletin boards, blah, blah. Bam. Next thing you know, we got colleges hooked. Next thing you know, here's the country, then the world. But it wasn't with the intent that we're going to traffic the shit out of people and kids. but yet that becomes now over 60% of the traffic on the internet. 70% of the traffic is trafficking, and so okay, well now once again the next wave is going to be this robotic AI, all this good shit. That's why I look at the little man thing. I have my little man syndrome, and I just look at him and say, man, if I don't help install and build some moral compass in you, because the world's fixing to take a turn, man, in the next 10 years, next 10, 15 years, we're people are worried right now. And don't get me wrong, I get the whole, but I mean, and I'm not saying Terminator's coming in 10 years, but it's going to shift, because when you look at the complacency that people have achieved now with the fluffy laziness of being like a Uber Eats and just, hey, I don't even, okay, well, what's going to happen when you don't even feel the need to really own anything? Because, AI, I'll just go into one of these apartments, these condos, and they've got AI, and it's got this advanced Roomba that runs around my room and cleans up and dusts, and all of a sudden you become complacent, and it's going to be Wall-E, man. Wall-E. That's what worries me, is people are going to become Wall-E, man, where it's going to be in the floating chair going, I'm going to be looking over here going, and you're right there going, well, I don't know, Shad, what do you want to do today? Well, I don't know. And we're so locked in that, we're 4 feet apart, but all we can do is talk to the screen. And, we're going to weigh 400 pounds and we're not going to do anything. We're going to do it in the screen, and that's going to satisfy us. And that scares the shit out of me. That part does. I don't give a shit about the whole evil, bad terminal, something plugged into my head shit. Whatever, dude. It was a cool ass movie at the time. Totally dug the graphics and CGI. My reality is that look at how lazy people are, dude. And then the fascination of when you show people welding and they're like, wow, check that out. Oh, wow. And it's like, yeah, man, this is what built the country. What do you mean? Oh, wow, this ain't new. This is what built you're actually, using. And so it just trips me out. That's the part that scares me is if the adults, older than me down to the, 20-year-olds, 25-year-olds, people that are fixing them, they're having kids, they got kids, got grandkids. That's, if that wave of people doesn't wake up, I guess, if I need a generalized to wake up and, man, realize that's the actions matter, talk matters, need to actually start showing an example. We need to show what we would expect out of people, not just say it, because there are little ones that are going to watch. There's some people that are maybe, I don't know, maybe it'll change them and they're already, 30 years old or whatever. Who knows? Mm-hmm. But people need better examples. That's, better, because that's the only thing, man. Otherwise, that's some scary shit, dude. That's just because that's who's going to be in the driver's seats, the AIs, the robotics. That's, there's going to be jobs, but see, that's going to separate a class, man. I mean, and it's not, I don't look at it as the evil, mean robot. It's the people. You're going to become lazy. Yep. That's what's going to hand over. It's not that the robots are going to take over. People will they're going to rely on them more. Just like people don't even look at a map anymore. They just listen to whatever the damn screen said in the car. It says turn left, right. I'm going to turn left. Wait, it's a dead end. Dang, old Siri done got that wrong. I tell you. And then they go right to the screen and then they just go up a street. But and I'm not knocking anybody that does that. So I'm not trying to talk insultive, but I'm just, what happened to the good old Ram McNally days? Oh shit! Where was that Shad lived at again? Yeah, let me get that.
You got to plot my course off.
Okay, I need to go right up here. Yeah, so I need to go.
Okay, it's it's going to take me X amount of hours to drive this. It's going to take me X amount of gas to get. Right. So, and I used in my driving job, GPS is everything. And gotten it wrong many times, and I've had to reroute. Just because I look at it and go, it wants me to go left, make a loop turn, and then go right. And it's like 5 miles out of my way. I'm like, that makes no damn sense. But most people are just like, I'm just gonna follow it blindly because it knows. But back in the day, I still have my my Atlas trucker Atlas. I love that thing. It tells me everything I need. I just need the glasses to read it and write it down. You know, I remember those days. I'd like, hey, I'm going to go to Rescue's house, and I'd get me a sheet of paper and a map and go, all right, I
That's
need to
it,
take
dude.
exit 242. Then I got to go north on 71, and I write it all
You
down. And I
did the
got the
legwork,
step right there, you know, and I
right?
memorize it
You
or I
did the
keep it
legwork.
on. Yeah, yeah, yep. Convenience makes us
What's
weak,
up,
man.
Grumpy?
It does.
What's up, Grumpy? Most
Yep,
people don't
bro.
pay attention until after whatever bad is. Well, that's my point. Alamo, Alamo, Alamo. I don't know why she's got to give the damn mail lady a hard time. Get over here. Good night. Get over here and lay in the shade. Chill right here. Just chill. Good night. But that's my point is that maybe we need to talk in a way that reminds people that we got to make a change. Like we have to through actions make a change, as in showing the change, being the change, as the phrase might go. Because I look at him and I think of my granddaughters. Hell, we talk going, what's in the men pool for the grandbabies when they in their 20s they want to get married. What's in the you know what is the way of life? And then I look at little man and it's kind of like, yeah, what's going to be, what's out there for you? Are you really going to be the odd man out, being the guy that goes hunting and stuff, or is that going to be like some abnormal crazy thing? Is that what road are we headed down? And it just makes me think, and the AI and because that is, man, it's really because dude, you look at the laziness that people have gotten to with what we have at hand right now, much less you don't even have to think for yourself.
Right.
Think.
Let's do as you're told.
Matter of fact, YouTube, Mike messaged me and sent me a thing because YouTube is fixing to come down on the AI generated music and monetization, because that's like, yeah, because it's not fair to real musicians. You just put in some shit and then this AI script writes a musical beat for you and some lyrics, and all of a sudden you're making bank off of it. It's like, wait.
Yeah,
And
right.
when you think about it, though, that's the way articles are being written. And at the rate we're going, dude, this is going to be the entertainment field. This is going to be the movies. The movies will be AI written script stuff. These people will just have an idea and then have AI create the storyline. They might run through and edit it up, and then they'll have AI generate the actual digital video to it. You can actually, dude, AI writes code. You can have it write a program for you. It'll write a game for you.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So I mean, it's literally, and what worries me with AI is because to me, what it is the scary thing with AI is that's like being the smartest person in the world. You have access to every day. It is the dude in the Matrix. And then all you got to do is say what it is. Well, then the database goes to work because we've written code that now can access as web crawlers, is where the shit kind of started. Web crawling, searching for database, retaining information, and now it just has all this. It's like, oh, you need to know the Library of Alexandria. Okay, well, it's now been given access to everything that we know of about that. So then you ask it something, it'll just spit it right out. Yeah. Where even a professor in that is going to have to take a moment, think about, well, what book was that in? No, let me find you that. Where did that say that? Got to get up the ladder. Let's go down the bookshelf. Let's pull this out. Okay. Oh no, man. And you think that's just everything. So all these little wild ideas that people have are fixing to be generated. Dude, there's no telling what all kind of video shit you're fixing to see on all the platforms.
Yeah.
What's legit, what's not legit.
Yep. Sasquatch, Yeti. I mean,
oh, dude, and look how, because that's, to me, those things have been distractions to keep people off of what we really have and do. That's my take on things. It's like when we practiced and brought it up, we were working on our night vision stuff and infrared shit. I think that wouldn't surprise me if that created a lot of Bigfoot stories right there, just because you're seeing shit you can't quite understand. And it's because we're playing around with some technology, man. And so we're doing things different. You know, it's UFOs. Well, here we are in the drone world. Imagine that.
Yeah.
Drones are a big ass thing. We farm with drones. Well, that's funny because, you know, 20 years ago, this was aliens that were coming to get us. We were being anal probed, you know, 3 decades ago because,
Right.
and it's like, or was it? You know,
Yep.
stealth
Our
bomber.
cattle was being mutilated. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think we created some of this as diversions. That's you keep people. You don't need the enemy to know your biggest gun. He might
Right.
see the sidearm on you, and that's one thing. Yeah, he's aware you got a 9mm. That's cool, but he has no idea what's behind the seat, and you always want to keep him guessing.
Yep. Yep.
It has a way of keeping people in check.
15, 30, 50 years ahead in military advancements, you know, always. It's a good way to be too, you know. So one day,
Yeah, they laid off 9,000. Actually, no one home. He talked about the Microsoft replacing their coders with AI, and yeah, they laid off 9,000. So yeah, because see, it now knows those batches of code, and so once that batch of code to do something is written, it's a done deal, dude. And now it's in this instantaneous database. So there's, you know, yeah. So the only thing then to know that this is yes, and the genie is out of the bottle. I mean, that's it. The seal's been cracked on Pandora's box. It's there. Other countries got it. So you can't hide from it. You ain't hiding from it. Our country's involved in it, and 100+ other countries are involved in it. So there you go. You can't hide from it. So to me, the logical step is okay, I'm going to make sure little man has a solid moral compass and keeps his principle. And if he gets into that, then that's cool. He'll maintain that. And if not, his friends, he'll have friends that he can help keep on that moral compass. It really, I'm seeing the foundation of why that's very important to do that with raising the kids. You've got to explain some basics and keep them grounded, because it's just there are people just waiting to snatch them mentally too.
Oh yes, absolutely. Many pitfalls. Many pitfalls. Yes, indeed.
Oh man,
Traps.
what's up, NYC?
What's up, X? I am having power issues.
You're having power issues?
Yeah, I'm at 17%.
Oh,
I got
you know what?
everything. Yeah.
I'm at 19%. Yeah, but one thing I've noticed, unless you have like a big charger base type that then can pump it out, most of the plug-in type stuff and everything, they just, because this video is so demanding, that it'll slow down the trickle, but it won't stop it. And it's like I plug the tablet in, it won't charge up. I'm still going to go down. It just might last a few minutes longer.
Yeah,
I'm at 16%.
Yeah. I guess I could, research and get a better charger, but whatever.
Well, it's kind of it's Anchor's a good brand, or they used to be. Once again, Anchor.
Yep. That's right. Anchor.
I use uninterrupted power supplies with battery backup, so that way it regulates the voltage that goes in the output of all the outlets. So, like my USB-C, that is a consistent, 12-volt, 5-volt, whatever I need, and it doesn't fluctuate off of the AC coming in. So, and I think, well, y'all got the solar generator stuff, and everything, and I think those panels probably have that same current moderation.
Yeah, I do pretty good. It's just it drains it. I'm like, all right, whatever.
Oh yeah, no. It wasn't no quarter that said about the red quarter. That was me, Grumpy. But yeah, no, that was just an example of like where it came from, because we started writing web crawler codes to try to then crawl for data and information back, bulletin board days. Yeah, this now, dude, you can go to Grok on X and it'll pull, you ask it, it'll pull up the information and summarize it for you, and then it'll proceed to show you all kinds of different website links to articles that reference it, to then, if there's an actual source website for whatever it is you're asking. So, I mean, if you want to look something up, now, granted, you want to be sure and look at the sources because, yeah, it can apparently, depending on what you ask it, it might go batshit crazy.
Yeah, and it's proven to be
Hey,
bias in certain situations.
yeah. But like on history stuff, or like if, hey, when was in 1980s, what was the casualty count of the Guadalupe flood? Well, it'll tell you what it was, but then it'll actually show you the articles from back then in newspapers that referenced all that. So that's the good stuff. But yeah, some of this latest political stuff, buddy, it just I guess it depends on who is on that shift that day, because it seems like it fluctuates a little bit. I think he's still got some moles in there.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And now he's got his own little attitude, which I wish he'd just grow the hell up. It's like he needs to grow up. Everybody acknowledges you, got you, but you had the limelight. People still like you, man. So just chill and then go with it. And then Trump needs to get up off his ass, dude. And they need, which there was word, I think it was that Benny dude that said something about how he literally talked to Dan Bongino and he's not leaving. But, and there's apparently going to be some revelations here shortly or something. Now, what that means, don't know. But
right.
I can see I'm not expecting instant results anyway. I did not appreciate the comment Trump made. I think that's about the dumbass thing. It's like, but hey, man, ain't nobody perfect, so he's going to have a retarded moment. And there was one right there. There you go. It's for the books.
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
Hopefully there's going to be a response, and because he is good at changing, I'll say that he's adaptive. If you ever look at that, that's why there's a 100-day tariff, there's a 50-day tariff, there's a 10-day tariff. Well, there's going to be a 30% tariff, there's a 20%. So he's totally flexible. So hey, hopefully this wasn't just like I'm a committed retard statement, but yeah, that one was really. Hopefully the voices say it, but there was talk with Dan Bongino actually, coming out with there's going to be some stuff that's revealed. And dude, I kind of get it personally. Whenever he said that, I went, are you out of your mind? So, okay, hold on. There's got to be an alternative to this, right? You can't be full-blown retarded just that quick on the dime. I mean, you kind of seem like you had common sense all the way up to right here. What the hell just triggered that? There's got to be something. And I did have this bright-ass idea going, well, if there is some people's names that's involved in some of this, then you kind of dragging it out, because you're just 6 months into your first 4 years. So you do need traction for a little bit more. And if you can manipulate and you can maybe find some other, because I will say, I think he does. I see his point with the election, the 2020 thing. I really do, because when you look at our country, our elections that really is the foundation of our country. It's our vote. Our vote's supposed to matter. And when it doesn't matter is when you end up with these batshit crazy places.
Yeah.
And so if cleaning up that voice and that vote is the main focus, I get it. Because, hey, as long as you hold people accountable and we just don't go, okay, well, we've done fixed it, now it's good. No. Let's go ahead, Well, I don't know. See, it depends on how you want to look at that, Huck. I don't think he is. I think that if there was anything, one thing I do find funny is how now, because he get people mad at him because he said that. Dude, just think about this. They've been going at this dude for 10 years, man.
Yeah.
So if there was any connection to this, they would have had no problem throwing whatever the hell they could. Hell, they made up a Russia collusion hoax. They actually paid to try to get some bullshit made up on him because they didn't have nothing. So to all of a sudden, I just now.
I think it's just, yeah, because I don't think he'd be on the list. We know there's association, right? He's always been associated.
Well, it was known and reported he kicked him out of Mar-a-Lago. Because when he found out he was a creepy dude with young people, but see, that's one of those things that's been clipped out about the young girls. Well, no, when he found that out, he kicked him out of Mar-a-Lago. So, and it kind of gets me, because once again, it's like we were talking about the 2016 dude. It's like nobody talked shit about that dude before 2016. He was the landscape dude. This is the dude that redid the park. He's the one that has the casino. He's the one that has the golf course. This is Oh, look, he's now on TV. He's doing Celebrity Apprentice. Oh, wow, check this out. You're fired. Oh, yeah, check it out. Now this guy's known for you're fired. And dude, but if you look back for the last 20 years, he's been asked if he's going to be president. He's like, I really don't want to. Somebody needs to fix this, though. So, I mean, you can kind of, for me, it's just I'm just a simple, honest little guy here in the woods. And I don't really, there's no narrative to me. I'm not embedded on nothing. And to me, I'm looking at that going, I totally get it, dude. You're a billionaire. And you made your money in this very country that you're making your money. And dude, this dude employs 10,000 plus people. Well, how come you ain't seen interviews? Where are all these negative, workers? Because he's a piece of shit to work for. Where are they at? It's amazing. You got no problem hearing about him from any other company, but where are those at? See, where it's just at this point, I'm like, man, I'm not saying he's a perfect dude, because like that right there was about the most retarded thing I've ever seen him say or heard. But hey, if they had shit on him, it would have been there.
Oh yeah,
So,
Biden would have done that.
Yeah.
I mean, because Epstein was already in custody at that, before Trump. So they would have totally used it against Trump. Totally. But they didn't. They chose not to, or they couldn't. And it's the general consensus is that Trump was hanging out with them because they were trying to hang out with everybody.
Because people they talk about the 37 charges or whatever the hell it is. See, because people have forgotten the simplicity beginning of that. That was a charge that was then expanded with all this random liberal bullshit.
Yep.
And that people just pick from to say, guilty of that. Don't really know what that is, but yeah, that kind of shit. So, but see, the media, man, that's why 16 is what screwed everybody up, dude. Because I get it. People will go, I don't watch mainstream media, but you watch the shows, you're watching the clips, and so they're still got the power. Then the airwaves, this digital shit, it's the message that's out.
Yeah. My opinion, and this is from what I can kind of gather why he would not get that list out, which makes sense, is that he has the list. He knows the people and he can leverage them. Like, hey, do what I say, or I tell him your name's on the list here. I'll show the video too. I'll release the fucking video, right? Because there's that too. There's an archive of, uh-oh.
Okay, they're backing up over there.
Okay. So having that list and holding it over people's heads, that's a hell of a bargaining chip, to get shit done if you want.
Well, and it's like I've noticed that phrase has been kind of being twisted, where she said she had the list on her desk, and that's not really what she says. She said she had the file on her desk. For all of them, it was the JFK, the MLK, and the Epstein was on a desk. Well, and see, I also did this. You're talking about tens of thousands of employees, and these people, what they just got righteous overnight. These are the very people that were the same FBI shit that was there when they took a shot at his ass. This is the same FBI employees that were there when they stole the 2020 election. This is the same FBI operation that was in place when they made up the Russia collusion hoax. So, I mean, all of a sudden, because these three heads get in, all of a sudden the righteousness just flows through all the offices. No, that's why they found the one where they found the stash from Chris Ray in the one room. I think it was Cash or Dan Bongino come out, and they had found this stash of Chris Ray's documents and shit. And so I think you come out, but I think they need to learn, just like everybody that does some of these damn channels. If you fuck up, you need to come out and own up to it. And you just need to you just need to do it. Hey, man, you know what? That was kind of wrong. There we go. Well, like her, it's like, I get it, man. You did your little YouTube podcaster thing, got your little binders. It looked cool. Everybody wants to talk to you. Now, are we going to realize that you just totally fucked up and you're going to come up clean? Because it's just like when Trump figures out that people want to hear about it, I'm hoping he comes out and says it. If not, he'll probably still stay a retard for me then.
Right.
I like some of the other policies so far are so good, and I do expect a good little economy, but I think that was about a dumbass thing to say, and that just doesn't go away.
No, if not, that makes it worse. Man, now more people want to know, right? Just forget about it. No, we can't forget about it. Yeah.
Miss Amy, I actually think that raid was actually to find out what kind of information he had. I think they were hoping they would find some stash of his of like he had a room. I think they underestimated that dude. That if he was going to have any kind of collective shit that he had gathered on his first floor and shit, that would be in an unknown location, being secured and managed by people that are off the books. I mean, being a billionaire, he's not new to security. He's not new to threats and anything else. So it just, the new threat level for him were those people that he thought were shaking his hand, and it's like, oh, you people have gone batshit crazy. And I think he talks in a neutral, which I guess now people will say politically correct way. I think he's just, because if you are a mediator, you're trying to mediate, then your tone and your choice of words will be different than either side or multiple sides that have a dog in the fight. Because if they have skin in the game, then they have their whole approach, their view. And if you're a mediator, you're kind of calm in between those, and that does look retarded sometimes. But hey, man, it's a necessary thing. Especially when you got nuclear world powers, we don't just need to go half cocked. See, now here's what's funny. I don't know if y'all can see that. There you go. So she's laying right there. See, those people showed up at the place across the road. So she's now come staged herself between them people and me. Yep. Before they showed up, she was over under the carport. She had no problem hanging out with Rudy. That car showed up, and now this truck. So she come and staged herself between them.
Strategically placed herself.
Yeah.
Posted up. Yep.
And it's just, dude, she just did that. I mean, that was my son's dog that we were supposed to watch for a week while he was on a job out of town. And now he doesn't even work for that company anymore, and he's home every night. And yet she's here. So she's our dog now.
Yep. And she's working.
Dude, she will. I gotta say that. And I did learn. Ooh, that was the black one with steel balls, but then there's like a more of a 9 resemblance, kind of an object. And well, kind of fired that some yesterday. Was son. I looked at Rudy and went and say, what? Dude, I fired that, and he started this deep, and he kind of did that little pounce thing, and I said, what? Pow, pow. Yeah. So it was like a magnum. Dude, that dude come up with curled lips, and he was like right at me, going right at that thing, and I'm like, holy shit. I looked at her, and I'm like, holy crap, I did not see that coming, son, but lazy ass Rudy laying over there doesn't get involved in hardly jack shit. But all of a sudden, buddy, when that goes off, it's a whole different. He went in the telephone booth and came out super dog or some shit. I don't know.
You say go time. Let's go.
Yeah, that was a rather shocking all. And she joins him with the barking, but she doesn't do he did the charging, dude. And I mean, lip was curled, and I was like, holy shit, dude, you're like serious. You want that? And it's like, yeah, well, that ain't happening.
Yeah.
Plot twist, I heard that Pam's ex-husband were on the board of Jeffrey's Foundation. I haven't researched it myself, just heard from a reliable source. Maybe that explains why she wants it closed. I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if there's some overlap as far as when it comes to the fronts that he set up. Because, he was a snake oil salesman, so he got investors and shit.
Yep.
I do believe that doesn't mean every investor participated in his lifestyle. there's a good portion that might have, but there was probably investors that literally were in it for the money.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, he sold them a good game, Hey, you invest, you get this return. Yep.
Dude, we used to have a JP that didn't care that her son sold dope because as long as she got hers, because he was staying with her, so then he would pay rent. And so there's people that'll just let things happen because it's profitable, it makes money.
Yeah.
And they'll ignore that dude might be a drunk, a dope head, or whatever, a perv. They just overlook that as long as that thing keeps showing profit.
Yeah.
And that's the sad part. That's how they make money. All that NGO shit that just went down from Ecuador all the way up to the southern border. I mean, to be honest, and this is going to sound kind of pissy, but it's like, yeah, Epstein's a bad thing, but look at all that shit, dude. Look at all the trafficking and the ranch and the children harm and all that, all the way up from Ecuador all the way up to the southern border. That was all taxpayer funded through NGOs setting camps up along the way.
Yep.
I mean, yeah, the cartel did bad shit right here at the southern border, but that was all taxpayer funded NGOs that did it from Ecuador all the way up to there.
Yeah. Yep.
It just, people overlook. And money, dude, it's the love of money. It's the root of all evil.
Mm-hmm.
It kills, it does away with their moral compass. They'll overlook stuff. Oh, well, we're really just doing it for the greater good. No, you're not. This is evil as shit. You got rape trees with bracelets and shit on it and underwear. And I'm sorry. Then if you really mean it well for people, how come when people show you that, you're denying that exists? Why doesn't that spark fire in your ass? That like, wait, this is happening? Because see, you're part of it. You're part of the problem.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Well, brother, I am running out of power quickly. I'm about to go
Hey,
dark.
Roger that, brother. Good reminder. I'm at 10% myself. I just now look up and see a red little sliver.
I got the red. I'm in the red. So
hey, man, appreciate you, Shad. You just made my day, brother. It's good hanging out.
Appreciate it, man.
Shit.
Pleasure. Great times.
By the way, somebody asked you earlier, and I'm kind of curious. Are you going to get back to your axe throwing?
I've talked about it before. It's on the back burner for right now. So
Gotcha.
I'm dealing with some other things here, but once I get everything out of storage and get set up, I gotta get it out of storage. Got to set it up, and then I'll get back into it. I'm just taking a break from it right now.
Roger that.
Taking that opportunity to focus on other things, more pressing matters. I got a promotion, I got a raise, so.
Hell yeah.
So, but yeah, one of these days we'll get back into trial by axe. I don't know when. I tell you the truth, I can't give you a number.
Oh yeah, no, I totally get it, man. Hell, that's you got a lot on your plate, and that definitely goes to back burner. I'm still glad you do your lackluster stuff. And
yeah, I'll still do that. But yeah, we'll just. Life happens. Life happens, and quite frankly, hey, I love you guys. I really do. I love you too. But you know what? I got to deal with real life shit, and that takes precedence. Right. So, but yeah, appreciate it, brother.
Totally appreciate it,
brother. Skull you, rescue. Skull to everyone in chat. I love your saying. Make it a good day. So
that's it, brother. You're in the driver's seat. You get to decide.
Yes.
Don't hand the reins over to anybody.
That's right. All right, I'm out.
Appreciate you.
Take care.
Later, Shad. Thanks, brother. Right on.
Thank you.
Right on. Mad Shad in the house. Hey, yep, because I am at 9%, or is that 8%? I don't know. It's either an 8 or a 9. It's one of the two. All I know is there's a red sliver. So, hey, y'all, make it a good day. Just remember, you're the one in the driver's seat, so you get to decide. Think of something good to do and do that shit. Make somebody smile. Appreciate you, everybody. Y'all take care. Make it a great day. Thanks for being here. It was awesome.
I ain't here tomorrow. If the good Lord says it's my time to go, I don't see that morning sunset. There's some things I need for you to know. The truck is yours if you want it. It'll run forever if you treat it right. When you think of me on some back road, that's because I'm right there by your side. Chase your dreams until you catch on. Leave your doubts in a cloud of dust. You can't ever love too big. You can't call your mom too much. Do your best to get it right. Forgive yourself when you don't. Hope you don't forget how much I love you. I ain't here tomorrow. Don't let life turn you bitter. Don't be ashamed about your head. Take it easy on the liquor. Remember what it did to your granddad. Yeah, you're gonna get your heart broke, but a couple of tears don't make you weep. Gonna find that girl God made just for you. Knows what he's doing, wait and see. Chase your dreams until you catch on. Leave your doubts in a cloud of dust. You can't ever love too big. You can't call your mom too much. Do your best to get it right. Forgive yourself when you don't. Hope you don't forget how much I love you. I ain't here tomorrow. Shotgun in the family, raise your babies by the book, and keep my picture in your wallet. Keep your car keys on a hook. Do your best to get it right. Forgive yourself when you don't. Please don't ever forget how much I love you. I ain't here tomorrow.
Hey everybody, I appreciate you being here. Make it a good day. Help somebody smile. Bring something positive. Be an example. Be the change that we want to see. I appreciate y'all. It's Tuesday. Let's get her done, son.